TV live on Happy 98.9 FM, live on Nisim 95.9 and 100.1, live on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Our handle is Happy 989 FM and ETV Ghana. You're so welcome to this beautiful day. It's a Monday morning, and we're thrilled, we're excited to have you with us this morning as we journey along with issues of Ghana on our hearts to discuss the way forward as to how we can build our nation and chart a course that the generation after ours can enjoy and be proud of. My name is Samuel Ishen, and once again, you are welcome to the conversation. And just as the psalmist was singing, he says, let the army roll. And I pray Nyankopon domenti etiase wa hoden ye won kwa anyu bia na nya ne sa adom keke enti ene da so etiasase so ebimu kodae ene wo mo ansori ebimu kodae wo mo eda hospital ebimu ekodae by this time they are waking up on the wrong side of their beds. Things are happening around, and yet here we are, healthy, looking and ready for a good day. Yendo Nyankopon ase ayana me time catch us say oh koda, and it's one of the advice that a friend gave me some time back. He said something oh koda aya fa phone no fato o Bible no eso e wo bed na say. In that way, when you wake up in the morning, na say oh your phone the moment you pick up your phone, you obviously will pick up your Bible and you'll be on your knees. And you know, ofa phone we ya Bible no so ena da wanim no go to do e wo Nyankopon anim. Wabi ba ko mi anim yesa waka che Nyankopon say give me the word for this morning. When Nyankopon e de nasem na e de ma wa kan we are, then you start your morning right. I'm asking, have you committed your entire day into the hands of God? Have you committed your family into the hands of God? Would the ebusuantom ni nyina amo Nyankopon odi omo ahye Nyankopon ansa na wonye ya menia. Don't take chances. Don't play with certain things. Always commit your life into the hands of God. Fa oma ehye Onyankopon ensa. Womo ekosuku akosua de no. Onyame bi o madwene mu no womo entini ebetire mo ase eye. Bomodi ase wode eye bushia dom nyina oba no okunu no wode obia ebehye Onyankopon ensa na afei no yepie efrefie. And when you get to the office, thank God for your life as well. Between now and 9, any ACP retired Victor Tando Ebedin Komo with the road safety tidbits in the near Jembe, headlines and the newspapers so abre at the 4 yet the social media trends. And some social media almost edi hum komono yet the ebi ebebre man for the sports update kakra and so atwas na abre Jembe ayabobo in some and there's so much on our table this morning to discuss and make our man for say and then the 18th of July 2022 in the na association is say your editors eba beka ensa and pay ye nyomo ebedi enkomo samre de membo bibia akwaba yento so na ye ne ACP retired Victor Tando ending komo. And you come back abra say ne ACP retired Victor Tando din komo na pay no dey your road safety tidbit no ebren ewo jumedi no so ACP no pay so eja ye ma akwaba eba jumedi no so
medio so this year
na impomo ko de eja
boss ya me adom pachoy
edewa de see yo mo akwaba and pay so ede ne yesu ya
yo me so mo akwaba my for more happy April I essentially be momo man no pastori ene mo djuma pa mo de si mo ni so amudi de bo amoman no eso ni papa amampo ani di ho esenti me koso asre so dum fo je nkoso nka mo ho nkoso nti anim so enchirem etie from motage medi and pay mamunyina achi amachi adeshi edmo be say medi kesi so o Happy FM 98.9 and pay any de bema sami eshon and ati edwelmo o mo body chidom ne be ne Isaac Adey Justice Nati Raymond Nyamado Europa Patricia Ibo Ali and director John Kuma. Therefore, the Amia Sony didn't yet mamma the Pachemia song or demo. See to 3 and 9 to 3 and Samonia and Kay who say you need be any papa be a yatum. Sadum dear and a mere retired principal few more. Young and church and one of pay set by his grace. We are alive. I am not Maraqua, which are furniture for any other so edited and Quemo. Now, Mentia. The drivers mentors fuya no pay masa kwesi woni ajasko mesaka monkrano mono woso hum ene soboy na machi no pay nyame nkosora enka mo ora kwashi I'm saying never comment as well. Or yes, man, I will Toyota Ghana Company Limited. I run also Obon Homo de Papa. Bema, good morning. Openi Odro Quatin, Ono Provincial Bank. Also, Memoachi no pay Robin Kanaka Central University. Also, Moachi no pay Yaminka. Chief Asari, Adenta Frafraha down. Moachi no pay Penny Adauto, Ono Shonman. Penny, good morning, sir. Mamunyachi, Yamisha Munyara. Now, it was for Mestre Suhum Principal. And that's all my police station be a bank to says Suboy police station. When she about Kosi, and Machia, our Chichire, the Ponoso. So I created be, I say, it's a horse is Sumpa, and the private cab be there, cause she says, Suru. She a young who number near Keka. And separate food drawer and check on Bayo Majuma Kama. Now, Omid Bibia so atutu ye. Because what's rather, because what's repana Junantia, Nema a year honono, and a year honono, Sawunam. Na Kania any Yakwan so, baby. The yet me Yakanians who are quan to be a piara. And here no more, I see ya a few years, papa. I can't carry near your car, a queer car, Cassiano, and I can't get one pussy as say ya. I see a passion to be papa. It is Sissy will come up. Send a driver near Auburn or Hooper. Almost a Caribbean says when you and no everything a buono, I'm not to the boss. What to the boss? We obey to me home. Sabia Ohuni, and always all sa home. Sabine Capo Frosufin and Nimuba. Capo Frof when Nimuba, no son highlights no. One of your won't see. Since a canyon between the two in this one. Meaning, I know a your house. Any as more could see. Is to say, on my private care, so back course, and you know, some young so. Or Monco for a few million, I won't cry. I won't cry. As some more, I see no. Or teacher, the bonus of to whom quiet, so the best a woman. And the pay how much she and assassin is here. And to press it for a more pattern or a semo, only money into 2.9 pound call Monco Ecoso. And give some years a bit me upboying another. A bit for Quana Sunri, a Quana Sunri, again, I'm sure, me and Coswada, ye a figure, and I put training to Bossy. Here is a bit me up. Mamma me engage a home. Yen, Mamma me engage a home, cry any sir, into me more, or me and show with me an answer. Yes, so I bit me up. Which I thought now a few more. Ebisua ade kakra nanse na ebisua ade no ene ye ne ade sa betwem ene kase bia kasebo bia owura ohwe National Road Safety Authority for also ade etu gana executive director owura Adonten David Adonten ono this akasebo etu gana no o say afi ntimu no afi mfiti ase ebesi abosumi nsia na wie ye no akwanhyia esi oman ha nipa dodo a ehwere wo nkwa o lora kwan so eye apim baako ene aha miensa 1300 enipa muno enye yade enye fever enye malaria enye edende ene dabi akwanhyia lora kwan so 1300 apim ene aha miensa. And no trust say, Quano so, that's what I even Yenam Swa. I see a coso, Papa, if you been at Martin, dear, neighbor mamma, yes, see, I say, SCA, Binim, yes, send the petimono, Mayum traded him, send the petimono, the best show monka, beat me, meaning I can't hope. Oh, and no maybe you want one, yet you're funny in the bristle. And for any bristle, the kind of communicate you. No media could share, but you should win as you're putting another, you're canning another, you can't mean another. And make a few in San Home, a breath, where said Nakaiko, and I know Saka can say Mondays the year, if you need one so, Edico share, MC, Municipal Chief Executive in the Kaya, Municipal Chief Executive for driving in a tour, a moon way. Or if you need one so, and or you could share with them. Say na order. So yes, say then I cannot drink or no name. You could share with ya. I said we could buy it. When in I can't be and I bought what I'm a coyer in the Padua. The bomb of Shomunko, I was in Sieno. I walk a car, I quite sharing a quaso. Ain't it trade there, Nema Yaquano so you can crack, you can crack. And yet I'm so abbreviamono. I say, Nephew, near returning to Basia Papa, between a boy, between a boy. And I know also a party Cassia, MPP. Now, some Coco, a party no, or my betoma baby, better send ya so, and so that form in Yantia in Caboni Biera. The Dudona could be on Fibai as medium. Oh, yet the Yamiase. Tap paper the BBMano, ye per se, ye chin. The job of a CB Basuna Cobia, the corner betrim, Yan to what ye, who we now Sako baby of Fibaya. What's in your betray, no Sako, no could dress with your son, who could draw. No, but me can you ye. It wing and an only and Shenaso. Yen Fernanti, a Shenaso near the Nantia. A bed blow up for you never. And pay by a bon see at one as well. She had no bed brass. And you'll be seeing to be crack. Memo, you between who be a man no brass. I said, no between a bemudia. And they said, ye kind you when they say, Egina was so, Egina Misu, Egina Yen, so. Although for the care home, then I want to fry ye fresh here, suppose many da, a tosso, a do, and more tree mono. A general casabation when we yam. Let my papier see any sono. Manaya domination, damn. I don't care and any gang.
I pray better see for your road safety tidbits are the Abre Awood Median. So some way they better was near the headlines of the newspapers now Abre at the 4. And we have 5 more minutes before we hit the top of the hour. 7 year will be Akwaba 6, sorry, and will be Akwaba about Jumedian. So some way the headlines of the newspapers now and at your day Abre at the 4 and I pay Fatty Shabali Elmenchea Yadi Jumedian as you share. So Fatty, good morning.
Good morning, Sammy.
Now we be at the year.
Now we are doing
Maba, Mafia
yeah,
from my ghetto in Ukraine.
indeed.
Mafia yes.
Now
Yes.
we are there.
Oh, so now the more strategies, so now we can recover the assets I lose you as a result of a unit. Until some of the areas I lose you, some of the senior military officers, yeah, prosecute you because they were conniving with the Russians, you know. Oh, Ukraine, ho. Oh, sir, Oko field the bar. And then Oko field bar, so did he heavy because it's a bomb, no.
But Sammy, on a more serious note, I've seen a few videos of people making jokes about the Ghana card, and I think some of the jokes now, it's to the extreme.
Okay.
How do you put Ghana card in water now? The Sijaso, is there not a chip or something?
Yeah, there's
like
a chip
that
in
there?
it. There's a chip
It
in
makes me
it.
say, and I don't know, but
Well, but if you bought the Ghana card, then what will happen?
or see the yellow soup.
Oh no, that's
And the details of your card, so we bet me BB. So, making videos of obi so blende, obi blende, like I mean, please.
Well, social media for you, they will get the case. So obviously they are doing all of these things. But I think that it's for lack of education and because if you know, say there's a chip in the card, there's no way you're going to put it in water.
Boil it.
Yeah, there's no way you're going to put it in water. And I think that this is an opportunity for the NIA to educate and sensitize people on the card and what it contains because it's a biometric card.
Yeah.
And a sort of computerized kakra.
Yeah.
Yeah, a computerized kakra. And the NIA must take advantage and educate people about the card that we are holding. It's just not just any ordinary card, but it's a card that computer no kakra eomwa osi kuta wose yehwe esu eye. But then also na yemfa Daily Graphic in Shasia and a Daily Graphic in man omo the Mr. Stephen Ayensu in team in phony at the atoho newly elected chair of the NPP was say after laboring for 20 years indeed papa wabre kwa could be an netikwa before and this time around he has won as the chairman of the NPP. In team chairs NPP, Korea upsets John Boadu to win general secretary position. National interest won't be compromised in IMF deal. President Akufo-Addo and Ekasa and a National Media Commission urges state media to share ideas. Nina stories ewo aye krata no emu anopai. Other stories ewo krata no kidnappers of Nigerian priests demand huge ransom. But why are they targeting priests?
I mentioned this the last time a priest was abducted.
Why are they targeting priests?
There is something that they are not looking at.
Well, one more at the infoni at the Atuhonum, Reverend John Mark Chetnum and Reverend Donatus Cleopas. Donatus. Yeah, Cleopas.
What churches?
Okay, let me look through the story. Okay. The kidnappers of 2 Catholic priests who were abducted in
And you see the kinds of churches that they target.
Yeah. The first one was a Catholic one, right?
Was it Methodist?
Yeah, I think it was Methodist rather.
Yeah,
it was Methodist rather. Well, and you know, story no ewo honum. Biden disputes Saudi account of Khashoggi murder discussions. Fati, I'm saying Khashoggi asemi obia suddenly obia refi. Papa no ewu omukuni ya at an embassy. Wildfires rage in France and Spain. Russia prepares for next Ukraine offensive. And no ewo honum can interest rates curb inflation in Ghana. And this is Elhon Mama for Bitmakin can be a challenging heights, rescues 11 children from forced labor. And this is Elhonum. Other stories, Elwo Daily Graphic Mo and a pay. Any NPP has no excuse for economic woes. Former President John Dramani Mahama and Ekasa, 4 political parties make daring statements at NPP conference. And also Elwo Honum amend Article 195 to guarantee independence of Auditor General. Majority Leader advocate Kennedy Ejapon accuses 15 NPP chairmen of bad faith, and I agree with him. And also Elwo Honum. NCDs and the resourced General Health swallows $90 million. Mental health NCDs take $1 million. That's according to a study. MTN commends GCGL Koforidua office. And also Honoma and a per month for Betimi Akinkabe. 22,000 can go to school in spite of free SHS. And help build resilient digital economy. Committee charged. NPA closes down 2 fuel retail outlets in the Western region. We stories on a pay Daily Graphic at the Abreye.
The Chronicle. Akufo-Addo call for unity. Banner headline essay: Fear delegates John Boadu's defeat shocks pundit, but in team capable of breaking the 8. GMC, Ghana Manganese Company, in serious crisis over Russia-Ukraine war. Alan Cash, this is victory for NPP. Eno ewo honum. Other stories paper nemu essay. Municipal Chief Executive for Dwabing at long last. Eno aba abetoja. Saso ena Oduma Sehene to set up education fund to support needy students. KMA commissions classroom blocked for 2 communities. And Honum, 63 students graduate from OTEC School of Journalism. And also Ewo paper nemu. Saso and 2 police officers, several hoodlums killed in Anambra gunfire. For those traveling abroad, police clearance check hiked by 700%. And no Ewo Honum. Osibanjo alert and well, says doctor. Saso and Goldfields working hard to expand lifespan of mine. We air stories are over the Chronicle newspaper now. Ubenye bi akai.
There's a story here. Yeah, I think so I read it. NPA closes down 2 fuel retail outlets in Western region. They did some in Accra as well. Okay. But how does one get shortchanged? Okoto fuel. I think we need some education because back in the day we had this mentality of moving from a good camel. But at what point would I go there and it's written there to auto fuel? You find say be a 13.99. I'm calculating in liters and also in gallons on my phone. So they are short changing me many at the end. So and as almost said, almost tall fuel and the quality near low and
maybe a cost story in more
Yeah,
because
yeah.
all I know is that they will ask you to keep your eye on the gauge. Until we share, also 100 cities. Mostly Ghanaians, we don't buy in latest.
Yes.
Okay, also me 200, me 200. Until no one what she say, you 200 and not 200.
And I say it be a calibration of the machines, you know, and
and I have to but now one gas and obey
Yes, yeah, that's true. Daily Statesman front page and a page stories or it be any in team JFK lead new dawn in NPP. NPC calls for effective population management. And no Honum. President assures good deal with IMF. Ochiman fights Kwans over dubious land acquisitions. And Tema Accra shuttle train resumes service today. And this is refreshing news. This is refreshing news. This is refreshing. I'm hoping to enquire the usual better say derailment. I'm hoping to.
But I think somebody mentioned that for about 2-3 weeks, they've
been trying it.
Acid
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Ghanaian Times 2022 NPP Delegate Conference. Its in team at last gets nod after contesting unsuccessfully for the last 20 years in 4 previous elections. Will negotiate good deal with IMF. President assures nation. Court orders defendants in COVID-19 protocol breach case to open defense. NPA clamps down on Western Region fuel stations cheating customers. And no so also in a High Court prevents payment of more than 5 million cedi judgment debt. Other stories are being, I see immigration officer dies after building collapses on him. Mexican drug lord arrested. And no Rafael Caro Quintero. Or no omusu ano bushes bia. Omonde dogs edi nechia dogs no ekoso nenemu ama yacheno. Toxic smoke, raging blazes rip through Morocco. And no hono missile strike on Ukraine space plant kills 3. Ghana Water Company Limited to relay service pipes at Old Fadama. MTN appeals to customers to complete registration of SIM card before July 31. So see us already register much data free. Health threat to residents on Ghana Atomic Energy Commission land. And no honum. Let's address harm sports betting is causing to Ghanaian youth. And also a feature a wallpaper anymore will be to me the Ghanaian Times newspaper.
SIM card and I remember our company owners GMA brought all the telcos into this house to register us. Proud that now my Vodafone I register me Vodafone SIM cards already, and yet I still get a notification saying I should register my SIM card now. And I tried to activate a service on Vodafone, and then they told me I need to go and register my SIM card.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting. Yes. Mr. One, I keep getting the message say go and register.
So they don't know that we have registered already?
Exactly. I was asking myself, so Omunim say I'm registered now.
Anyway, the Finder newspaper and a page stories are on be any elected to break the 8 for the first time in the Fourth Republic. And no L1 Mahmoud, Henry Nabuachin Funi at 200 Stephen in team, Kajim Fua, and Justin Frimpong Kudia, Wamo Edio Mumfuni, Edia 200. Nanado calls for unity to guide future of NPP. Accra Tema train shuttle service resumes today, and conference result is a win for NPP. That's according to Alan Kojo Chemante and Honma Amanfo Bitmakin Kaibi.
Ghanaian publisher Nana predicts MPP 2024 victory. Work for greater unity. Alan urges new NPP officers. NPA directs OMCs to settle all debt. NPP chairmanship in team at last after 20-year wait. ECOWAS facing food crisis. Afenyo Markin ena ekasa asemwe. Saso ena hawa kumsin bans siako. Eno ewo hanum. Estela Wusu tasks stakeholders to collaborate with cybersecurity authorities. Ghana developing a credit system. VIP ena ekasa asemwe. Saso ena economic woes due to reckless decisions. Former President John Dramani Mahama ena eka. Other stories I hope Panemu as Morocco's Ken Mohammed endorses new bodies for Judaism. Biden raises Khashoggi murder with Saudi prince. Togo army regrets killing 7 teenagers mistaken for jihadists. Oh. Ghanaian publisher and this story see Abba.
Also, they mistakenly did what?
They mistook them to be jihadists.
Togo.
Togo.
Yeah, it's a Togo one.
Yeah.
That was, I think, last week. Well, but so the Economy Times, Bank of Ghana likely to hike policy rates further. And EU. Fiscal deficit to widen further as government agrees on 15% COLA. 91% Ghanaians lack confidence in judicious use of e-levy funds. That's according to a report. And I pay the Economy Times a report here. The Custodian newspaper and I pay Osha front page stories or any Akufo-Addo praises Ghanaian workers. NPP picks winning team. Our more ede winners nina infoni ede atokrata no enim. NDA engages investors to transform northern Ghana. NPA closes down cheating fuel stations and work together credibly urges winners and losers. We any stories and pay we share the front page of the Custodian newspaper.
The new crusading guide, Ochehene warns Kowans to stay away from Achim land. JB booted out as in Team Kodia and Nanabi take over. Ignore the inhumane defamatory publications against me. Hassan Zain, Ena Eka Sasamwe. Conference results win for NPP. Alan Chematin, Ena Eka. Mempa Sem Chiefs expose Land Commission, threaten massive demo if NPA closes fuel stations in Western Region for cheating customers. Other stories are Benyasi Greece plane crash. Cargo airlift was carrying weapons to Bangladesh. Conservative Party leadership stop toxic politics, says Penny Mordaunt. BBC Africa Eye expose. Chinese man extradited to Malawi over racist videos. And no ewo honum. Kidnappers of Nigerian priest demand huge ransom. Why an accused Liberian warlord was killed in Canada. I protected your jobs, paid you in full while you sat home during COVID. Akufo-Addo thanks Labour for COLA deal. SASO and stakeholders meet on paralegal draft airline guide to start implementation. If you want to know, the Republic Press, Ebetwaso, the outcome of delegate conference is a win for NPP. Alan Chematin, Ena Eka. Side chicks won't be there when you grow. Take care of your wives. Producer to men. MPA closes fuel stations in Western Region for cheating consumers. I won't resign, Ken Oferiatta replies critics. John Buedu booted out as Justin Kodia causes stir at NPP Congress. Go learn sense, Kene Japan tells Wontumi and 14 others. We the Republic Press. Business and Financial Times claims of missing or stolen unused Ghana cards, a case of dishonesty, institutional inefficiency. I know a question feature Biawaha essay. Are you prepared to change or react to it? Mining finance tech dominates local stock market. Heed calls to cut size of government, economist Bina Eka. Inflationary pressures may hike policy rate up by 2%. Fuel prices shoot up 287% in 5 years. Other stories as well. Ewo paper ni mua ubenya akan essay. UNTAD convenes consumer protection talks amid heightened vulnerability. 50-bed Banahene Specialist Hospital opens in Tema. Wait, air stories ewo Business and Financial Times mu anope.
And also na yenko your website the info stories are only be Embre Adofo anope your website no www.happyghana.com. Wait me a follow you for a real-time news updates for especially the coverage of the NPP elections real-time information as it was happening. Not one more updated website. And to a man for normal here TV there, you could see that the videos were all being linked to our website, and I pay lots and lots of these videos. The social media handles and so there. Did you know, sir, and there was an after party? After the elections, the Ashanti Regional Caucus of the ABP held a party, a unification party, Thanksgiving party. Not Chairman Woon to me, and some big shots of the party were there. He didn't know this. But we have all the videos on our social media handles. Into TikTok, you find us the Happy 98.9 FM, Twitter, Happy 989 FM, Facebook. All these videos are there, and you should see the kind of dance moves across so Najua. You won't find this on any platform but Happy 98.9 FM. You can call your website happyghana.com and for stories nibi and bre at the 4 and pay NPP polls. Full list of elected national executives and no 20 years of contesting in team finally becomes chair. And no NPP polls. The era of John Boadu is over. Justin takes over as chief scribe and no don't vote based on great talks, ex-President Kufuor prior to the declaration of the results and interviews or granted here. Asabi so and someone was I gave delegates TNT, but my opponents are bribing them. Asabi alleges into the now. You know, and I think that I must commend the team for a good job done last Saturday. Fantastic delivery. Don, Raymond, Neil Kanta, Isaac, all the production crew who made it possible. No? John Kuma, I mean, it was fantastic. Me especially did a yeoman's job all over the place.
Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget, Amaka, all over the place with videos and pictures. You guys did a fantastic job, and kudos to all of you. Final story on the page: Sri Lanka swears in acting leader after mass protests. We any stories on the page. War your website.
If you want to my call City Newsroom, railway company to begin Tema Accra shuttle train service today. Yulo Krobo, Ogomi resident accused ECG military of assault. Government using EC as pliant tool. Keep an eye on them. Former President Mahama charges minority MPs. Ghana Health Service confirms 2 cases of Marburg virus disease identified in Ashanti region. We air stories are Oko City Newsroom Ubenyebi Akai.
Yentwa so na yemfa some international news stories embre omanfo na yede bre omanfo na CNN and yede twaso was a battle for southern Ukraine heats up. More the pictures and the videos go on ma. A steady flow of Russian military equipment is moving westward from Mariupol as the Russian forces commander attack from Ukrainian long-range weapons. And no Zelensky fires top officials accusing members of their staff of treason. And see, Medjumano, I'm a and are dead, you know. We're able to see the moves and those who are feeding the Russians information because we didn't understand why we're losing certain key cities like that. And
so you are a Ukrainian or you work for the Ukrainians or you support the Ukrainians?
I'm a top security expert. I'm a mole hunter.
Oh, okay.
And then, you know, they came for my services to hunt. Now it's here, now we'll be here. I'll say, I'll call in a hunt and the end. Drone footage shows Russian artillery pounding Ukrainian wheat fields. And China once saw Europe as a counter to US power. Now ties are at an abysmal low. How Steve Bannon is disrupting American democracy. And also so January 6th committee investigation stands up fresh revelations ahead of last planned hearing. And 3 people killed and 2 injured in shooting at Indiana Mall. When you know stories on the page CNN at Aroma, you beat me at the Abre Omanfo.
Reuters News: Nigerian unions to protest shutdown of public universities due to strike. Guinea junta names acting prime minister during absence of PM. 9 killed in separate shootings in South Africa. Police Eka. 2 Catholic priests abducted in Nigeria. Chad rebels halt peace building talks with interim military authorities. So and a curfew declared in Sudanese town after deadly clashes. We stories are oko Reuters news are ubenyebi akai.
Yent also na pay yemfa weather updates embre among for pay ewo dwumedie no eso sena upia obehu na waboaboa ohu na nsuo ekotɔ a ohu ankwan kwacho Ghana Meteorological Agency for Adaroma na yede weather updates no yede ebro na yede bro dia na nim say very accurate. We 34 minutes ago and one more edi weather update we ebre almost say variably cloudy weather is expected this morning across the country with rain over a few areas within the northern sector. The afternoon will be bright for most parts of the country. And when my breakdown, the Amadema na Fatia Niaji, no, was say a flower, a cra, castle. Medibemao,
listeners needed.
Medibemao. One more essay a flower, Accra, Castle, Cape Coast, Takrade, Axim, anyhow. It will be partly cloudy this morning with lowest temperature around 24 degrees Celsius. Now, area intermittent sunny moments are expected with temperature around 29 degrees Celsius. And you may, it will be partly cloudy with 24 degrees Celsius being the lowest temperature. If the northern belta, one more see END, Tamale Bole, Damangobo, Gatanga, Nalerugu, and it will be cloudy this morning with temperature around 24 degrees Celsius. Area, it will be partly cloudy again. And the temperature would have risen to somewhere around 32 degrees Celsius. And you may, it would remain same with temperature around 28 degrees Celsius. Into any weather update and pay, you bet me at the Abroman for Ghana, Meteo for Adaroma.
If you want to my Ghana Health Service, now the COVID-19 update, at us. So active cases, 606. Confirmed total cases, 167,215. New cases 32 and deaths 1,456. Recoveries and discharge 165,153. Vaccination drive so aging 17,409,005 total vaccine doses administered as at June 30th. We in a year COVID-19 updates na yede ebe to us no. If you want my ebeko social media na yede their air trendy ewo honum aba na yenim say MPP National Delegate Conference no air trendy ya pa nsem PBA APF mobile no yebenya abotre na in the course of the show no yede abra etefo ni ahwefo ntino yemse yede no ehye trend no na time na MPP fo ni abre na omo eye omo conference na omo hwe senior outcome never abaye no na Happy FM for so edi ahyehye so ewo Fadama a omo de Sala Fest no grand finale no ehyehyɛ so ewo honum na menya nti yese delegate no omo di eduane na yeyeye ewo Sala Food Festival no eno ena ma omo hwe mu egi amanfo mpese omo eyi omo no na Sala Food Festival no se wunnim a yehye ase enye nne ye intra zongo community competitions enti omo wini ewo intra zongo communities competition no ena omudi kosi ni ewo Fadama eye Saturday yi na de ekobaye no ene se team taste a omufi mama obi zongo ena omudi second ana akonoba from Madina zongo omudi third na omo ewini ye no na omo efi Fadama zongo I from inshallah. And inshallah for no and omudi inkunim because no say inshallah ye be wini and ampara omuwini ya omutam ne ntwe kakraka ediko ya by now there omotwitwa omachi a I hope say by ochina no omode ye de ebetumi abepie mu ewo hanom na eseweni ense okachire anyomtufu okukudam ekopie mu wase ma ye do nyom ehihye so a na nya asem ketwa moma yentie ensem kakra ekoso ewo ho
but HD plus channels no 19 and Assisian, you did channel back, Eba count, such channel, a movies in Kwani Bay. It's a 20 channels. About 20 channels, and a also.
Never check up on them. Even never rise, never mountain them. Never look the boots, every dance element. But we never twist. Bad mommy see people never rag and every dance and me dear. But never ruling. Dance on me side. Look at them top like a night. I be both and man, I'm anti. They say my songs be a rare one cry. And so many tears be a just coming cry. I know go run from me today.
The course so Fadama over the weekend, you know, and your day abremo. Aha, and I'm a trending issues, you know, ABC. Summation.
Sir, and you mean our boy and Matiano Nipa, Mekano, Kafidi. Kafidi.
Are they?
Opinion no.
Sir?
No, I think in-house boys in opinion no. Omope. Yeah, boys omobo na emotion so ede. Say mo so nim na. O start bo so obeba obewura ahomache na obonyamenyo. Nti wadwe me so akwa no. Sofo.
So come re na pe.
Now for the call back to the usual lifestyle and there's a bet in namu. Try betting is yeah, but also
crash I say now. Ordinary member.
Well, yeah, twaso na yin komo and it's all about the NPP. Before yeah, but call a yedo bokrata emunoni ready the perspectives they are given with respect to what we all saw and listened to on Happy 98.9 FM and ATV Ghana. For the benefit of one more intimate and follow a proceedings, you know. You all on quade, yes, you granted interviews. You know, I'm for a train command. You be said some more in some for about community and sa, one more a day a home and use some a day a brain. Now, yentie, the one more at the time, no. And sana even elections na ekoswa the declaration of the winners no ebaye yene penyimfo bi etise Mr. Freddie Blair woye chairman na wote adwane so a ene Mr. Stephen Tim na woye chairman no yene Madam Catherine Afeku edinkomo yene na Obribo ahen edinkomo yene several other dignitaries edinkomo ewo grounds honom na yemfa interviews na ye conduct yene bi proud to the declaration no how they picture said things were going to be and how things turn out. Yene former chair of the NPP, Mr. Freddie Blair, yene no edi nkomo yemfa nkomo didi ni bi embre omanfo.
I have confidence in our membership. They are very discerning and they know who should stay first for the next one. Very light-headed.
Today will mark the beginning of your breaking the 8. How sure are you that you are going to make the decision?
It's not today. Breaking the 8, we have already put in place the roadmap towards breaking the 8. Irrespective of COVID-19, irrespective of Russia-Ukraine war, we are definitely husbanding the economy, governing very well, distinguishing ourselves. No matter what, Ghanaians will appreciate the good work that Nana Danko Akufo-Addo and the MPP government.
We had former chair of the party, Mr. Freddie Blair, Eddie Nkomo, showing optimism and the drive towards building a better Ghana for Ghanaians and how he feels that his party is the party that has got what it takes. So, one more Ebama Yamaye Chicheno, Ako and Kansen Yayina, Yayano. Yane, Madam Catherine Afeku, and so Eddie Nkomo, Wabana Jumedian, El Cosono, on the Sunan Secretary, MIN, Yan Fabro Manfo Nafi, Yan starting in the Nkomo.
Yan compare and processes this year, Mafomu to elect officers of the party. To that of year 2018, Moye conference, no, Ekofodia. What is new with this process? No,
Can you say your board organizers in Krabaso?
Yewura Makmenu any mpanimfo a ɛhyehyɛ dwumadie soronko a wɔm ne sɛ nwanwa sɛ MCs miɛnsa yɛyɛ koforidua no ya miɛnsa so ne yɛyɛ wei difference is a way no aba no yɛ to no simultaneously broni be say simultaneously just say to a boom say to women youth Nasara and all the other external branches here with 20 polling stations about to win and a polling stations no so adults nipa to about this time and also saying 2018 but the difference is the organization is going like a parallel it's a factory assembly line to boom at the same time into no ebema nyoma akoso wado and it's generally been peaceful yes yansha sientam I know that you can't take it away from critics, but there is a reason why. Nipa Bebre Efia Manone, they were placed a bit farther from the stadium. Once Accra no, Yakoko for the school no bank. Baby I hosty Nyomano, but we know a stadium will be where UPSA, Legon, Accra traffic in Kakranka Kranti, and no ma yetrim chain so Kakra. But overall, it's been peaceful. The elections are still going on. Now to who say, Pinte Bia Emma. Nipa no aye wo mo adwen se wo mo beto ayi empanimfo a wo mo de ye ebetwa 2024 akansie ema enkunimdie aye party de nti delegates no eyi empanimfo we anye ntokwa NDC fo ne no wo mo wo ntokwa ene ye bebo enye ntokwa a sebe dade ewom ba ya no ene adwen kire ntokwa eno no ye 2024 ba we no eye fie ntokwa kakra bi a ye mo boye ho ye be kire ya adwen ye be yi empanimfo ye wi ane nyina yakabom. So if you look at the theme, it says holding it together and working it together. Until you say yes, so ye chichiri ni ye near the koshia NDC4 na yet to me atia ejuma pa aban MPP
well yembra na afi ni eni nkomo ni aye omanfo eni nkomo and saying yeni deputy general secretary of the party na no bribo han enso so edi enkomo wa ba na dwumedi no enso ekoso no eno so nkomo twetwe no nsem kakra ode eto dwa no yemfa eho ensem embromanfo
na ma mimisa said the dwumedi no ekoso no particularly with the voting who ni saying
ekoso dale not ne ha me baako pa ne se test conform no wo mo no antubi no ha me more because maybe can kuo no ho na me yabrante mono pa entina sabe na efi school ma ba mono kuo no ho odene pa no yen kokorafo penfo se ya to sana komrante ne maya no now a party like New Patriotic Party ya hwene ya ni ya no ya so ene mema ne maya na say ya beto about national elections na say ko ba se ban to bia e ha adwene ba bia nto bia ha adwene ba meman because ba ne ba hwe kira man na da dua ya to wi memma biowi meman ne maya ne ba hwe ya ba ye hu ye ebinum a ya start 30 years Satan ya ba uhu Hackman uhu Dr. Adokofo uhu Kojompia nimnom uhu omse omuhu edene eno ba en onse omuhu nyedene enen so meme wa hai da foforo bi baba me so ma ho edene no ebe kofam so to that extent ye koya nim no na ye hwe ye chi say ye de ye chi jahefo enti ye beto aba ne nkura no mema no ben tubi bani maya no ben tubi it's a serious matter
yo anti na no bibo han lawyer na wonu so yene edi enkomo no to summarize some of the excerpts of what happened, what transpired from our own perspective in terms of the interviews we granted to dignitaries at the event. You know, the final declaration by the electoral commissioner, one more responsible for elections. Of course, one final declaration as to who the winners were and who the losers were. No, and also Embre or Mamfo Ejumedi. So, but even before that, let me quickly just remind viewers and listeners, Ejumedi Koso Ewo Nisim 95.9, any 100.1. So, follow conversation, I'll bet me the thought, views, any comments, Eddie Abrea and pay Ejumedi, your WhatsApp line, Ejuma, as now, your Facebook, Twitter, and so on. I'd prefer say you would engage us on Twitter, your hashtag no happy HMS. Hashtag happy HMS, and we'll comment via Fafa and we'll read all those comments. Oh, we are happy 989 FM again on Twitter and also Facebook. Any comment you send there, Biano, imagine bed Makai Adi Ama Adofo. But Yemfa, the period when all participants, when all contestants at the grounds, were anticipating the people they had voted for, whether they would win or they would not win. The Electoral Commission made everybody see their smoothness level. Yente the easy, I can't abandon one and say, one more winning, and one more winning.
Here go the results. Starting with National Nasara Coordinator, 6 people contested. Haruna Mega had 5 votes. Abdul Rahman Diaro had 2 votes. Isaka Mwaza Kunata had 199 votes. Awar Mohammed had 24 votes. Suleimana Alasa Atapo had 9 votes. And Abdul Aziz Haruna Fida had 328 votes. So I declare Abdul Aziz Haruna Futa duly elected National Nasara Coordinator. Now for the youth organizer positions, 4 people contested. Ampanga Hussein Yakubu had 153 votes. Salam Muhammad Mustafa had 255 votes. Prince Kamal Guma had 101 votes. And Michael Osebwadi had 120 votes. So, Salam Muhammad Mustafa duly elected National Youth Organizer. For the women organizer, 3 ladies contested. Kate Jemfua had 620 votes. Ellen Amadaku had 9 votes. Hajia Saudatu Said had 32 votes. Kate Jemfua is now declared duly elected National Women's Organizer. For the position of National Organizer, 6 people contested. Right, Esifi Kumi had 137 votes. Seth Etuaje had 25 votes. Daniel Nikwate Tatos Grover had 2,274 votes. Eric Amwakuchum had 185 votes. Henry Nanambuachi had 2,870 votes. Pojuo Nana also had 44 votes. I therefore declare Henry Nanambuachi duly elected National Organizer. For the National Treasurership position, 4 people contested. Mary Posh Odro had 1,303 votes. Dr. Charles Dramina had 2,917 votes. Dr. Yusuf Tidem had 125 votes. Florence N. Nuyama had 1,197 votes. I therefore declare Dr. Charles Dramina duly elected National Treasurer. For the position of the General Secretary, 6 people
contested. At the end of the ballot, John Bodu had 2,524 votes. Idris Musa had 104 votes. Ramsia Ahmed Ajima Prempe had 8 votes. Charles Bisiu withdrew before the voting. Ferric Opariansan had 50 votes. And Justin Kodia Fripo had 2,837 votes. I therefore declare Justin Kodia Fripo as duly elected General Secretary. For the position of the Vice Chairmanship, 10 people contested. Ismail Yahuza had 613. Malgiwel Annan had 155. Dankwa Smith Buti had 2,982. Rita Talata Sobaire had 2,927. Edmond Opompipra had 479 votes. Christine Akumen Kisi had 2,069. Derek Kwaku in Kansa had 491 votes. Michael Omane Wadier had 1,635 votes. No Ken Wood Emmanuel had 520 votes. And Alaji Masawood Osman had 2,128 votes. I therefore declare Dankwa Buti the first vice chairman elect, Rita Talata Asobaire, second vice chairperson elect, and Alaji Masawood Osman, third chairman elect. Now, finally, for the chairperson's position, 7 people contested. Devi Amma Gifty Asantuaye had 44 votes. Sami Krab had 32 votes. Professor Christopher Miyawakufi had 101 votes. Akwasi Ose Aje had 20 votes. Stephen Ayesu Intim had 4,014 votes. Stephen Asamoah Boateng had 1,010 votes. And Kwabena Bankwayabwa had 294. So I duly declare Stephen Ayesu Intim as duly elected chairman. Thank you for your cooperation. God bless all of you.
EC representative or declaration, and so if you're seeing the front pages of all the newspapers and their focus is on the NPP, that is what happened at the grounds of the NPP again. On my own behalf, on behalf of management of the company, you better team know as for a yeoman's job for the coverage of the elections from Anapa, Motinahwa, Kopum, and Najo. Results on the airbar number the my in social media handles in Fifi radio so and so the next morning even the Thanksgiving service more the updates at the brain selfless job and I'm kudos to the entire team mama Jumedian so for virtually being the man behind everything. Cosby Oboyjuma good job done, Mr. Cosby. Fatih, Entino, you senior resource no esi ekoi will be a smoothless level. But you would agree with me, sir. The focus, all that everybody is talking about after the declaration is that of John Boadu and then Mr. Stephen Ntim. And so you realize that virtually everybody is focusing on Mr. Stephen Ntim and Mr. John Boadu as to how John Boadu could have lost the seat, and the reasons being attributed to the loss of the seat, to Justin Kodia, as you see, and elected General Secretary of the party. But I would want to touch on that of Mr. Stephen Ntima. All the papers are reporting, say, after countless efforts to be the chairman of the party, after 20 years now, he is the elected chairperson of the NPP. 2005, or compete against Mr. McMenua, will lose sa election, hoping say at the time Nanko obey a winning. 2010 again was also a contest here. I think around that time on the late Jake Otanka Obechebi and a contest for the chairmanship of the party, and also Olusu to Jake at the time. Now were contesting. The final one, I believe, was in 2014, and also one name Mr. Paul Afoko. One more contest here, he lost to Mr. Paul Afoko, and then recently Wako contest here. I think say Mr. Freddie Blade didn't go, and so he won the elections. But Fatih, it tells you say there's a lot that is happening within the NPP as a political party. Let's not lose sight of the fact that happenings within the 2020 elections had a bearing on how the delegates, over 6,000 of them, were going to vote in these elections. Because one more echo in 2016, it was a huge margin in the winning elections in 2016. By the time one more echo 2020 elections, for even His Excellency the President, percentage-wise, the number no reduced. I think 53 point maybe in 2016, about around 51 point something in the 2020 elections, which means that there was a drop. And so the delegates were definitely going to hold somebody accountable. It would either be the chairman or the general secretary, who are the two people who spearhead everything in the party. The chairman didn't go again. And so one idea in the back question, so he'll be definitely the general secretary of the party. And so for me, that would explain one of the reasons why ABR John Boadu would have lost the general secretary position now Ohudi in the party. Then again, we shall see Tomulusu of Parliament in the 2020 elections. And they all hang Parliament at the moment. It would all have contributed to Obiano from the previous executives were contested for a seat in this present time. Now, it would have affected such an individual. And so, for me, it didn't come as a surprise to me, say, Obiti say, John Boadu, he found his way out as being the general secretary. There are other things that on social media people are saying could have contributed. I'm saying once and man feature and other things. But I feel that in an attempt to break the eight, the delegates feel that, look, at this point in time, we need new faces with vibrancy. They feel say, I'm breaking the eight going forward. A lot of people are also, I knew John Boadu some years back, maybe some 8 years back, and it didn't come on our phone. So once in a while, my friend, but you could hear from others or more people who say, almost no, na ISCC, no, Oman Hoso Kakra. People also say, even in the campaign, he wasn't really doing any campaign to the grassroots folks. He was doing the campaign at the top level. And if he has the backing of the Penyufona, then that's it. Everybody will be whipped into line. But that is not what we saw. The delegates had a mind of their own, and so they voted in a direction in which they voted. And so, for me, that would explain, why Mr. John Boadu would have lost. But I would say, there is an uphill task for the new party, chair, the party has elected. Because generally, as a chairman of the party, how are you going to steer the affairs of the party to ensure, say, one, your party members themselves, you are able to bring them together. Let's not forget that there is a contest, huge contest ahead of us, that of the flag bearership race. already 3 names, key individuals are there. Kennedy Japan, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the Vice President, and Alan Kojo-Kyerematen are there. To bring the people together is going to be one of the most difficult things that the party chair has to do. Even after this one, the loss, how he's going to bring them together is an uphill task. I also want here. And somehow post the flag bearership race, how he's going to unify the party to go and win the elections. And so, Fatih, newly elected executives in the year, with lots and lots of MPP followers knowing and feeling say it's possible to break the 8 in spite of the genuine feeling in the country.
So, I mean, I think that all in all, the conference, you bet me I can say echo because incident to be the delay was how do I the delay at the time they gave some special conference and I say I'm going to me and say it went up to around 3 p.m. and some mobile besha say honestly not enkoye papa and mommy, but eventually they were able to put everything together.
Before you proceed, I think we have Raymond who was one of the anchors at the center of the event, or joining via Zoom. And Raymond in Komokakra now on far what he witnessed and his own views as to who and why and what could have happened for what we saw happen happen here. But I think that we haven't been able to reach him yet. In Fatih, let me come back to you.
And I'm saying,
okay, I think that now we have him on the line. Raymond is joining us via Zoom this morning. Raymond, good morning.
Good morning, Chabi. Well, Chabi, what I'm saying, we are now recovering from the pressure of the day.
So voice, you would the whole clear.
Chabi, depending on senior OT, and depending on how would have said we did the call or each other.
Well, Ramon, kindly tilt your camera a little bit so that you get me clearly on TV. But generally, what did you witness at the grounds of the MPP elections across Ono?
Well, Sammy, right from the day before Ambassador Jumidi National, Nampin for a year plans on Bejumiama area no mobile Jumidi no. People because it's outside the place now. Barriers in the no musi senebea on very restricted access to the stadium. No ejuma. And then you come into the perimeter itself now. You realize now ejuma koso senebea even in there no security arrangements in the as they were expecting. It's like I said, a lot of the work that started was geared towards making the place safe. Now, official branding stage almost set here, be a president Bukako Kasawo, be a VIPs, no better than be a communication, some yes arrangement in the day of the event, and here. Now, moving to where you are supposed to be, maybe a delegate in better now, well demarcated stadium, all the regions know, as she said, be a better now with huge banners are indicated, be a better now. Again, a banner of VIP in the map, VIPs no better now. Nina Omotron, Omo clearly marked it out to be a media better now, maybe a spectators, or more person beside the almost better now. Nina clearly marked out. It's a rumor. Security arrangements in the now it was quite stringent because Osha scanning body because of terrorism and some scanning body share their whole bag the okitabiano watching say expect to be ansana which may remain that was one of Nema while Bohun say proper measures and I'm to in place security wise in the so number of policemen and more duties so net also year pa Obehun crowd control police wo Obehun policemen Omakasano say almost play a certain role on the main area on better abandon in I think in terms of organization, security, any arrangement or the only problem was that now the event was supposed to have started at 9 a.m. But the TN said not delegates, no, any contestants, no. I said they were still locked up in last minute meetings according to people. So now people had to as it were, no, be convinced one way or the other. We ways and means to be a delay the start of the Congress. It's we saw Freddie Blake, who was supposed the convener of the meeting, coming almost around 2:30. And Nina said once Wabano, now other dignitaries, vice president, Omina Babetinase, and Jumedino Eshasia. Some of the items on online here now we say we frame because not time to call into assessment, and I say a report from the general secretary of the party, into Miamba. Again, the report from the treasurer, into Miamba, because they had to speed up the process in the Payamba Chava. And so we went on from that point to Bibiana Omokoso. I even drew a point where we had to prepare ourselves for speeches from other parties. Solidarity messages. I think general feeling there. Now regions, Ashanti region, Eastern region, any Greater Accra, no much faku. And not the daily people now from side nearby. And the own contestants now, Senator Murimuno, who said the response was quite massive. And the Nina Koswa, Makase, it was quite an impressive media Koswa. May sure say Yababa, the event proper, elections, no any aftermath. And what's near see even before you start your battle, I'm sure say we'll get back to that. But generally, the see and I near my course a war. Accra Sports Stadium before you start to say it.
Now, before Umberto Abano, there had been some allegations and now some contestants had made, Mr. Samabwatin for that matter, had made the allegations. I'm on for to vote. He says on TNT and OTI. On social media, there were pictures and videos of people who were supposed to be sharing monies to individuals. Ramon, did you witness this? And if you did, what actions were being taken?
Sabi, all these allegations were going on, and even some of your colleagues, they saw envelopes being exchanged. They saw people clad in batakaria. Now, one place. Na omokan sika na sika omokan no na 200 cedi note here na omokan no just oji envelope na o person you sure say the woman no the akatra no ntina the cross checking anyama so me pesa omo say after some hu nyama we no omo hu say mpanyimfo bi apahwa abaye action bi na omo say there be enti meka say all of these things they went on secretly, but of course secretly so no I can confidently say it will be on the blind side of opinion for an answer to make a check is anima way. And basically in the measurement I said Sanyaman and Koso paid the reporter in here from Yankasa reporters on the ground, who were going around say it's nasty because we had to be on there most of the time, But those who went around, they saw things happen, exchange of envelopes in there. But interestingly, allegations of Sikampo and Koso. I think there were allegations of attempts to rig the election. And also, of course, so into Hopes in Adoye, I think he was one of the managers, Emma Justin Fripon Kudria. He alleged way before the processes even started, there were attempts to rig. The plan was that the lights were going to go off at the stadium. Lights no go off at the stadium. Processes never delay. Now processes need delays. Now, them said the plan was to make sure almost staff a ballot box. Then allegations he made. He also alleged that the generator was filled at half tank. It's that was the reason why Omo believe he said about to on person movie. Now if the lights go off at the stadium there and they're about to any idea bet me because you be some opinion for say there be that and his allegations were wild allegations. There was nothing in it, a young bungu. But like I said, some of these things went on mistrust yet to me manage my election of course. So like I said, lights need a from a time at Jumedi chassis right to the morning and we a declaration lights behind me and go off.
Now, Ramon, we know that the background politics would have been going on. That's looking at the bigger picture of the flag bearership race. And so people would have been gauging the welcome certain individuals would get from area. For instance, the time Trade Minister Eremu, Mr. Alan Kojeche Martin Eremu, time Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia Eremu, time Mr. Kennedy Japan Eremu. Remember, now we gauging would not. Did you see these things at play?
Well, Sabi, message here from even the contestants Nankasa. Now, contestants, I think that you would be able to gauge the level of popularity and or more based on the cheer of the crowd. And so a few people were shouting chairman. But in team by you say na decibels no koso kakra. It was like that for the women's organizer kids the applause were loud, the cheers were loud. Again, you can clearly tell what direction Abato ever call. But the general secretary, that was where now I think that if John Guido was paying attention he would begin to shake at that point because I think that one of the opinion for Ayachama to be at the point now he was heading towards Ashanti region, Eastern region, and a Greater Accra stance, and it would shock you to know, sir. They were booing they were hooting at him, and now the boos were going on for Chamamun to be, and it was very worried because on Ashanti region, Omubuna, it was worried. Then after a few minutes, we saw John Boyd also approaching the same place to loud boos from that particular section of the crowd. Then GFK also attempted to go close to that place. Now GFK drew Hono. Almost from South three regions almost kingmakers, It was worrying signs for him. That was it on the part of the contestants. Oba and Muna. Alan Cash, I think Senam Minisifa, we were outside when Alan Cash came. And it was almost like the president had arrived. No OC free a buyer. Now Alan Cash buyer, no. Osha Senana media, Yajania Yedinichi. Fans, supporters outside the stadium, Senana, Omuye Dedia, Omudi Chino. The bodyguards had a very difficult job trying to control the crowd, but he was just smiling and waving at everybody. And then the composure was absolutely top notch. Vice President Bawumia Ebayano also he used the inner perimeter to assess his seats. And also Ebayano definitely won't say. Supporters need their own day because someone was a vice president, but Sasuna president, but they did same. Kennedy Japan also obey mono now ubia yedidi because now I think that everybody do say these were the people Omumaniema is our party no and these are people that generally know from where they entered from Mecca Alan Chamatin any Kennedy Japan the crowd outside no Omuboji Omusuansana they had a lot of cheer outside, but president, because they used the inner perimeter, and those in the stadium were able to cheer them. But I was thinking it's ABA. If Kennedy Japan Alan Cash almost inner perimeter in the room, I'm sure would have had loud cheers for them from delegates and no more honor. But at the time no more arrived here. If the MC didn't draw lights to it, and if the MC didn't acknowledge or arrive at here, and they were definitely not going to get the loud cheers I would be expecting inside the perimeter. But outside there, as I mean, Mekacho said, they were really mocked. Now, which is the president.
All right, wait. You hold on the line for me. Now, you crossover and fast sports and Bell Manfo. Yeah, Babaka. I'll be joined still via Zoom by Raymond and Sefa Dankwa Samuel to also share some insights with us as to what they would have witnessed. But key amongst the issues, Raymond and Sefa, that I would want us to take a look at would be the issues the delegates would have looked at before the voting had begun. What were they saying? Say, Anibiano, Womobe has say, way enti, any agina so ediatuaba, way enti, any agina so diatuaba, way enti, any agina so ediatuaba. So we would have an understanding and appreciation of the issues upon which Womotuabano the way it went. Stay with us, while this sports update, Ebre Omanfo. And welcome back to the Happy Morning Show live on ETV, live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9 and 100.1. I'm hoping that you stay with us. It's been an exciting one, being giving insights into what transpired last Saturday. About NPP Etwaba AU, national executives are Womonyombo Akono a year 2024. For now, dear Minia Emmanuel Body Abekamensa and a pay Menini Dinkomono, the sports updates no what they at the Abre Minia Akwaba.
I mean, that's me also.
We are going to say no pay.
Uncle Pandum, Eugene Naso. Sounds so.
You could come cracker, you could come cracker.
Maybe I'll call you no way.
Oh, yeah. Say, yeah, Jumano, say,
Nako baby.
Oh, of course. What are you saying? Look how I be because I'm over Ukraine.
Eh.
Yeah, Juma. Yeah, Juma. I mean, Samuel Jumano who was seeing in
no. Oko patanto kwa na oko konto kwa.
Make intelligence analysis and more fishing.
In capacity as who?
As an intelligence officer.
With what which qualification?
Oh, not the intelligence officer, the other qualification. Mako, you need school Mako. British trained.
British Heifer.
Huh?
British Heifer.
Oh, some many MI5 for a training. Many MI5 a training, many MI6 a training. Even at some point, na CIA for someone me
these are fantasies. Fantasies are allowed.
And then?
Fantasies are allowed.
Sports over so ya na say be.
Oh. Na be kasi me bia me.
And the finance media.
The person I guess from a 1xbet. Na any omo an the crane where the sports update in the dan we dwumadi as 1xbet. Say me kan kire say open the best bookies ya any my biggest odds na osanso deposit ya ombre na osanso withdrawals ya ombre and 1xbet o platform no so na 1xbet.com o create account what the best Ghana yeah o promo code e beboa ama wetimi enya 200% bonus on your first deposit na boa ama wetimi enya sikapudo de a check wo how far eye omayimu into 1xbet and I make count for the amount omo na so emu ayede sports update na dan on the Happy Morning Show. Na yen shase dia na ye shase RFI the local Black Stars akachi edin dam so Black Galaxies na me no ka say na no Wednesday ananka omone team man edin Kempton Academy anyakogura kansie ebo ani we preparation amoye ama CHAN qualifiers no ebeba so against Benin na sa game no due to MPP national conference in Intino and to me ama so Accra Sports Stadium enra etodwa Robert Mensah Sports Stadium ema team anidin de Black Galaxies no Kempton Academy ebo na kamienu ema otimu back first half and goes mienu epiemu a Abranti and the Maxwell Abekwe and afi Suraj Seidu of Great Olympics and then Hearts of Folk respectively no omnya 2 goals na dem the Black Galaxies of Ghana na eno echi ofetos mienu no and Abranti and the Akosipoku ebete kan baako the Emma Kempton Academy and the 2-1 hon me favor the Black Galaxies of Ghana enti eno ene sama etodwa enra me no ka say team no Cape Coast a oda so ahoboa dendenden aboama bibia timi ewe payo ahead of the Algeria 2023 CHAN qualifiers omni Benin ebebo on the 24th of this month enti enra sa game no ewe na coach Anowoka ene ne mpamfo etenase eto adwene ena omuji Abrantie Glatin Awako se eni omeye captain emfa Emma the Black Galaxies of Ghana. He'll be assisted by Vincent Atinga of Mediama Sporting Club and Imoro Ibrahim of Asante Kotoko. Intiwe ene captaincy Jumedi said o mashisheno on Mediama the Black Galaxies of Ghana. We need someone if you wakachi eba. And anu fiada na Ghana Football Association ebetu ja say Ash Gold any inter allies any appeals omoye no appeals committee no I will read the decision of the discipline committee ama division 2 demotion ama safano ayade ejinam pampin a sachire bia ntimi ambamu ehorme no and executive council no betu dwa say any emra no emamutumi GFA regulations no mamutumi say omutimi take decision as to why and replace Ash Gold and then inter allies GPL and afi division 1 zone 3 no emu enti omo atena se no esco no e de abeto dwa se ene omo e behwem na oba premiership na ne we replace ash gold no e be ye 3 zones aye ball division 1 no second place teams no omo e be ball all play all na che se omo peki winner no no adwene Ghana Premier League e wo eye next season no emutu hwem na che zone 1 no Tamale City and after zone 2 Ebusuan Drafts na zone 3 ye Liberty Professionals omo be ball all play all team A versus team B, team B versus team C, team C versus team A. It won't be a draw. Na teams na pick the respective slot no e ho no matimi e de sa games no e de hyehye so do bedi nkunim no e ba bipiem e wo GPL no be hye as good anan after say o masafa demotion to National Division 2 no emu sanso e na akọ zone 3 of the Division 1 no emu a inter license so eko Division 2 ide na o se obi etimi e be hye na na emu etu hwema na te se Division 2 middle league to dwa no teams ya on toss mienu ewo afanan no miensa no nyina eba abehyiemu na me ka afana miensa je me kire zo on hye zone 3 no emu no aha iti omo eba abehyiemu na te so mo so omo ba bo sa all play all ya bi na mo so de obedi nkunim no abehye interlice anan ewo Division 1 zone 3 no emu nti hwemu na te na God FC Agbogba FC na fi Port City FC or ebu akwa susubiribi omo na be battle out no ma pet the slot into the Division 1 league and also team A versus team B, team B versus team C, team C versus team A. That is no on the basis so on the na no binya sa nod no abepiem ewo Division 1 zone 3 no emu. Confederations of African Football me kire CAF and the shortlisted clubs, players and coaches edin abetudwa say we mra announce 2022 CAF awards eno ekodema ema football no continent no emu na uhwema Ghana's Hazakes ladies oma pick 8 solid nominations e ho no ma enya se kuma kra wo player of the year category no mu no we say Evelyn Badu e ho eni o Norway na uhwemu so a Doris Badu anso edin e ho no mo uhwe interclub player of the year no emu a Evelyn Badu ene Doris Badu akra yai omodin asanso apiemu e ho na fe young player of the year and also Evelyn Badu era fe Doris Badu a omo edin ene hye honom na fe obam a coach of the year no Yusuf Basigi of Hazakes ladies onidin apiemu era club of the year no so Hazakes ladies edin apiemu e honom etway ene shortlist ya CAF era betudwa for women football awards no ba so later in the year and the way at one. Congratulations to Hazakes ladies and their players for these nominations. And so Africa Women's Cup of Nations, Michelle Alcono, and also a good ding Morocco na esanso serve as World Cup qualification untino ama format no IBBB one we want asiye na ene me no ka say last 4 countries ya omanya agbawuramu ewo semi-final no omo eko manya automatic qualification to the World Cup Michelle 2023 FIFA World Cup no emu etuhwema ene Zambia and Morocco omo debutant ya omo piemu World Cup na te omo kobida we no first time omo ekwa Nigeria and South Africa so epiemu hono na te win 4 countries ya omanya qualification automatically after say omo egbowura last 4 no emu na enra no o say yenya 2 countries ede eka ho eti playoff ekoso a na kafufo friend 5th and 6th position na te say no uhwema Senegal and Tunisia de boani obi anhye after 90 minutes and as a regulation time ekopiemu penalties 4-2 ekodema Senegal enti Senegal agbawuram 2023 FIFA World Cup okodendendin sanso na Botswana etena ma Cameroon ebona ka ba akwa went to me anti Cameroon so a pick slot to the 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup no emu na ene semi-final matches no baso dendendin na me no ekase Zambia and South Africa at 5 p.m. on the bebo ani sanso na Morocco so and Nigeria at the bebo ani dendendin at 8 p.m. Anyway and if African Women's Cup of Nations akache no etodwa Morocco no efi hono eba yemfa we enfan entoaso emawa na me no ekase de locally no teams be transfer dendendin hono ma me no ekase Brekum Chelsea in their quest to strengthen their team no oma sign Ghana international Lee Adi ene or defender my papa we see akadema the Black Stars of Ghana abobo bia about 30 matches and abrantie no timi gina mu edema the Black Stars of Ghana esi akan ede Emma Omaina ene Liadi wasani 3 years solid one ohono ede Emma Brekum Chelsea enti eno ene Amanegba the 32-year-old watimi apene a 3-year deal with Brekum Chelsea ohono abrantie no wasi akan wiasa fana babia ne Dynamo Zagreb nyina wasi akan ohono ma Resta Belgrade AC Tripoli Minoka say oye former player ewo eye Brekum Chelsea nti kuntu ahwan wasanso abesi na nemu ewo Brekum abeto akansi esu dia ma Chelsea ewo ehonomo na wo nsɛmfoforo mu no Accra Hearts of Oak ene Tamale City center back Charles JB Aliko eno no edi nkomo akọ akire yie pa a me no eka say center back no dabi obepiem ewo nkran na the medicals e de abehye so wo bra teams mienu no another clubs mienu no edi nkomo den a Hearts of Oak epe abrantie no or Ivorian etini ugina chiro no say yes wo show screen so a bosa abrantie no or pabne pa obrane ugina no mu na say obeka eye Mo Alasa eho ewe chiro no say yes Hearts of Oak ebefa ntuma pa e de efra den na nyo no nko na Hearts of Oak etata no abrantie Jonah Atukwe of Legon Cities Football Club area Hearts of Oak etata abrantie ni gidigidi pa say obetia aboa na wa sharpen the attack of the Phobians into dabi se bibia koyie na nkasa ho no etimi ewie peyo a Jonah Atukwe nso eba bepie mu ewo eye Accra Sports Stadium abesi akan Ediama the Rainbow Boys into we any ensem a efi Hearts of Oak akache eba yetumunchi ede ama wo na so se de onsem ete 1xbet omo de kra mu a the sports update na dan on Happy Morning Show yentinsi amana no tew na yen sorry dwumadie no eso ameno eka say Chelsea FC oma na some second signing e ho no ma abrantia and din Eric Khalidu Koulibaly wanya assign deal no e ho no den a enye asekuma kra ameno ka say wadwan ne eye ne teammate e wo America Yankee a the preseason no e de ahyehye so den a enye asekuma ti Chelsea fo ni abre say Alonso mo eko Rudiger mo eko no e wo say wonya eye formidable defense ahead of the season inti why sa sign away the aka abrantia and din the Raheem Sterling ho ama Chelsea team no emu ayede me no eka say oda so epe eye Kimpembe personal Kimpembe from eye Paris Saint-Germain na or the 40 million pound sterling and they ato and PSG say omomagie na omofa Kimpembe emfa enfem wo mo inti yen hwe say dabi ebetimi akoyie ama Kimpembe agepenie na PSG nso agepenie na waba abepiemu awo Stamford Bridge ana se sen ena nkasa ho no ebeko ebre ena ebekire ba bia sunsu ane brode ho no ebeko akogu Napoli nso ani edi abrantia ne din ede Kepa Arrizabalaga echi dendenden a otata Chelsea se eni dabi Chelsea se da moji nkrofo die mo nso betimi agemu na ono so be huri kwam achi eye boss no e go post me ede amayen iti Napoli ani edi Kepa Arrizabalaga chi bare pa me no ka say enyasem kuma yen hwe nanka Kepa nani enhye anje last season getting to the end of last season no nani hye anje o santi yen hwe say e bia debi obebu na ketem afi eye Premier League no emu ana na amanebo a efi America eba echiremu a ene Raheem Sterling or signing for Chelsea no na che say onama na ne training grounds na ye the Chelsea jersey man no autograph o twitwa ne signature gu achira ne ade a enti ene na ndra papa wa ku hu no say oh we are former Manchester City player me so me a staunch Manchester City fan tene de ene wa bade a Jimmy Jesse na sign a chirima me Manchester City jersey Raheem Sterling say crache be fa cry to Raheem Sterling fi no osno bi no ho no ma ene ehon sem kakra so aba atwa PSC omanfo ano Tottenham Hotspur akache no Memphis Depay abrantia wani edi no na chi dendenden a me no eka say watata no from the Catalan Barcelona na 17 million pounds sterling na ori atudwa say opeson fan kofa abrantia Memphis Depay na so Ushimana say the Catalans are demanding 20 million pounds e ho no ma wani abre say abrantia Robert Lewandowski ene was signing no officially 3 years deal and abrantia no etimi assign one more costing 45 million euros plus add-ons of 5 million euros and also any near PMU Robert Lewandowski akache na eno na abrantia why surplus of request ɛwɔ ɛyɛ the Catalan Barcelona Branche Memphis Depay no ɛwɔ sɛ obu na kete me san se team na ka kyerɛ ne sɛ ɔmpɛ baabi mfa na Tottenham de 17 million ba Barcelona sɛ ɔpɛ 20 million eti yɛhwɛ sɛ de no so ɛbɛkɔ akɔwie 1xbet ɛna so mi mu ɛna me de sports update no ɛdan wɔ ɛwɔ happy morning show no ɛso di am gye so Emmanuel kwasi osu bu adi mu do esia na Samuel Shen ɛne ne mpamfo ato adwumadie no so ɛde ama wo.
And welcome back to the Happy Morning Show live on ETV Live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9 and 100.1 Bogatanga and Tamale and Ejumedi Echegu. Across live on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Your handle no Happy 989 FM and I say ETV Ghana. And to bet me following on all these platforms now, also know all thoughts or views via why express it through these avenues. I'll read them in the course of a year program. No, and it's a Facebook and I'll follow and Bacho. I'll be glad to hear from you. Quickly, me for a very special birthday dedication. Emma, me walk for sit back would do the birthday annual belated one, and it's a special happy birthday to my son, my nephew Edwin Nate. Today, yesterday was your birthday, and I'm wishing you a belated happy birthday. I wish you long life. I wish you peace of mind. I wish you joy. I pray that you will be able to understand all that you are taught and that you'd get God's favor in all things that you do. I'm hoping that per the conversations I've had with Daddy, we will surprise you. Big surprise. Peche. So, be on standby. Just make sure you learn for us and then we'll make you happy. It also happens to be your birthday. My brother, Justice Nate, who is my senior sound guy behind me, always ensuring that the sound you're hearing on TV and radio is accurate. Justice, and a belated happy birthday to you as well. I wish you long life and you're a good man. Let me put it that way. You are a good man. Happy birthday to you. On that note, Yemoshi na yenko na yenfa CBG business tips no embre adofo anope na I was me kai fati se I was odine hu ebe batame na mechie no anamontu wo so wotu senia ne TikTok numbers no ebe grow 70 and na followership in hundreds, in 200s. Na yeah, buano so no big grow in the numbers no. But never CBG business tips no embre or man fan pay. You didn't come I found the benefit of a bank account. Bank accounts are cheaper. Yep. Very, very, very cheap. Banks and credit unions generally offer the account holders free or low cost services. And again, you can even open an account without any initial deposit. I know some of the banks have some of these products or more edema, or more customers, especially the savings account. And so please ensure, say you open a bank account. It's extremely easy and cheap to open a bank account. And I encourage you to open a bank account with a CBG and a pay so that you can also enjoy the numerous products. One more edema, one more customers. Inti yemo bibia akwaba embeji medini. So proud to go in for a sports update na many Raymond Yamado edi enkomo via Zoom and a pay ojimedino as well. Sefa Dan Kwasamo so joining me and a pay via Zoom as well. Na yeniomo edikomo and it all has to do with the national executive elections. Of course, what last Saturday some winners were declared. Mr. Stephen Intim as chairperson and Yenya Justin Kodia declared as a general secretary with former general secretary John Bodu and a pedie baby will be under your child. But kudos to all those that made that process a peaceful one. Kudos to all of you. It was a beautiful ceremony and we wish you all the best, both winners and losers all. Yanko na yeni Raymond Yamado ending commander pay yeni Sifa Dankwansu ending commander pay na before na me catch say one of the key issues I would want us to take a look at the issues upon which the delegates, 6,000 of them, voted on. A day and a delegates no pen come on what is a man for a day. A day no mujina sunti on the two about more at the 2 years. Raymond, so I'm one son pay income as if I saw one so yendi and come on and pay. Ray, if you can hear me. Hello, Raymond.
Tammy.
Hello, Sifa. You can also hear me. Hello, Raymond. Hello, Sifa.
Yeah. Sammy, me want to show.
I feel like we hear him clear, live and colored. Na so usu hu me de.
Yeah, me hu pa.
Wọ́n say ẹ̀yin no ẹ̀yẹ adwuma.
Me hu se wa.
Wọ́n say ẹ̀yẹ adwuma.
Me hu se wa.
By next month na be afa. Yo, yeah, let me be some question be about what you picked up on the ground, say, would have formed the basis for the voting partner, delegates, no, a vote. A day no mujina so the tuaba.
Well, Sammy, one of the key issues that was somebody feeling say bet me serve the way they want. When I talk about serve them, no, or accessible one, or work or courage, because I couldn't down with him, no, or somewhere say a very tough battle down with him. It's or what courage, or what fighting spirit, or tea jumanasia, or bet me aboamo, I'ma break the 8 agenda net down with this, no, to me abaso. And that was one of Niamana na Oboshe again. Now Oboshe nim say Nipa umbefano no, sa Nipa no. Either say never know or combination of experience. And I say, why you more party name that or mood him say once he takes over our position, no, he can continue from where he left off. Until Obehu position be to say national organizer say, you know, they were looking at Nanabi simply because they felt say as a youth leader, he was able to distinguish himself in that role. Until upgrading to organizer, no, he has gained experience from that place. Or the Remo organizer, that would be one of the reasons until I'm fan and I be now. It was
let me interrupt you for a second. Raymond, let me interrupt you for a second. Now, quickly, you dash it to the other Zoom link. Now, former ambassador to China, where yeah, open here with that Siga, I know, ND and Commander Pay also. So, the thoughts on the developments at the party event grounds at the sports stadium. No, what he witnessed. Now, the question I was asking you, if you can attempt that as well. Now, after the way forward, breaking the 8, and some of the things we witnessed. Ending Commander Ambassador, good morning, and thanks so much for joining us.
Good morning. This is Amitia for you now.
Yo, I should phone social. But now, I'm going to say.
But you're here, Namus as well.
You could come crack. Yo, any common menje reactions before and post the elections. What's been your reaction?
But your reaction. Kind of saying said to the elections in general.
Ambassador Pacho, video no, I'm saying also video we can't see you, we can only hear you. Wait me also camera na my would appreciate.
Ojo maso Mohammed.
Okay, all right. I'm saying and let me be say proud to the elections, what your expectations were, how you felt things were going to be like in terms of the organization, in terms of how the voting was going to go, and then post that, the outcome that came. But let's focus on the initial. What were expectations in terms of organizations and then how the voting was going to happen?
I think, sir, the National Election Committee headed by Mr. McMahon did a wonderful job. I myself was on the committee, the National Election Committee. I think the vetting process, the planning, the logistics, everything. I mean, we'll be about Stadium Hall last Saturday, via MPP Abaso. And I think that's what we expect of a party like MPP. I think that this, for the first time in a long time, the vetting process was very quiet. We didn't have any candidate or aspirant complain or refer to the arbitration committee. Obi Obaibia felt that they had a very fair and clean hearing. And I think the process started well. Now, on Saturday, the organization was to the expectation of all the aspirants were happy. This is the first time in a long time Ayaya election. The ones who won were very happy, and the ones who lost, no. I mean, losing an election is a very painful thing, but they were all satisfied. Nobody has complaints. Yes, you see me, and I say, week or so. And I think the National Planning Committee and the election committee headed by Mr. Mark Menu and Mr. Sesha Bankwa deserve a lot of commendation. I mean, since the U election, I want to see will be a Catholic call radio so and I say Bibi of course no many will be a to say BBL tour no crime because to move forward and to break the eight, you need unity of purpose, and I think that's exactly what happened on Saturday. Interesting.
Now, you were there. You'd have heard either the grassroots and by proxy some of the top hierarchy members of the party. What were the issues generally, even before the elections, you felt that people were going to vote on?
Well, I think people were looking for a new sense of energy to energize the base of the party. And that was one key thing. People also were talking a lot about unity. And I think that was also important to people. So I think a lot of people put some of these things in mind. Obviously, there's going to be a new flag there. People also wanted Obi Obitimi Opolu or the party together. I think people also were looking for fairness. Some of these are some of the things that I picked up on the ground. But generally, if you look at the people who were elected, some of the old executives were retained and new ones brought in. But if you look at the margin of victory, I mean, even between it was not, it was always close. I mean, with the exception of the chairmanship and women's organizer, all the other positions were highly and keenly contested.
Now, some people hold the view that the outcome of the 2020 elections would have played a key role as to how the delegates were going to vote. From the outcome, do you think it impacted our elections?
Well, I think so. I think definitely. I mean, 2020, having looked at the amount of work that was done from 2017 to 2020, it surprised a lot of people. I think that may have played a role why the General Secretary lost his position to Justin Kodia. But be as it may, I mean, at any point, the system throws up a new leader and people want a new sense of purpose. And I think that's exactly what happened. I mean, it gives these new executives a chance to reflect, a chance to look at what they can do better, because the expectations from the party members, from the grassroots are quite high. And obviously, once or two more, you should listen and make sure that you meet the aspirations and the needs of the people that you've chosen to serve. So yeah, 2020 definitely played a role. But a lot of the old executives were retained. The women's organizer retained, Nasara was retained, Nana B moved from youth to national organizer. So Rita Sobaria was retained as second vice. So it's not like people were also totally dissatisfied with the work that the old team did. It was a balance.
Now, there was a huge issue which was trending on social media now a year about vote buying and monetization. Some candidates had alleged Sika may be a course. So, my colleagues are no more and so they saw it with their own eyes. Envelopes that were being given to people, delegates no more ever trouble. The issue about vote buying. As a stalwart to the party, how do you feel about vote buying, especially in such a contest?
They saw vote buying on Saturday at the stadium.
They saw envelopes being given to delegates.
Well, I mean, I can't comment
Mr.
on that because
had also made a similar allegation to the effect the opponent and were contesting were massacre.
I can't comment on that because I was there. I was on the field throughout the day. I was there at 6:30 in the morning, and I was one of the last people to leave the stadium around 5:30 a.m. on Sunday. I wouldn't say it didn't happen, but I did not see it. So I didn't see it because it was something that the election committee, chaired by Mr. Mark Menu, had warned all the candidates that nothing like that should take place at the stadium. The program started a bit late, and we were told that delegates who moved in Sika. So we're surprised. So a team of led by Mr. Sachabankwa and some police people and party stars were sent to the hostels, baby Anomodame, to bring them, and they all came. That one there, I cannot talk about it. However, on the issue of vote buying, it's something that is worrying to everybody, not unique to the NPP. It's in all our parties, and it's something that we have to find a way to stamp out. However, having said that, I have had the privilege of living in several countries. I mean, my last country was China. When it comes to these elections, people want to influence people to pay, vote for them. And people use words, they use persuasion. And in our case, in addition to the persuasion and the words, money has become part of it. We need to find a way to stamp it out. And it's something that I know that we reflected on it a lot during our deliberations. So I'll take this into consideration. We'll bring it up during our review meeting and hopefully find a way so that the next time we have these elections, it will be stamped out or minimized. But again, you know, it's this issue of people feeling that when they vote people into power, until the next cycle of voting. So all these things need to be looked at so that we can stamp it, because monetization of our democracy is not good for anybody.
Now, the latter point you made about monetization of our democracy, I remember a report that CDD released, I think that was last year or so, as to why, as a nation, we need to have a conversation about the amount of money we spend on political activities. Should we be having a national conversation about Sika, for instance, the medical year? I wouldn't know how much was spent for the organization of the Ehu Saturday, no? But should we have a general conversation about how much we spend for political activities?
I think it will be in order. I mean, democracy is not, it's a continuum, it's a life thing. Therefore, I mean, we've gone since 1992 to 2022. Maybe we can all take a step back and evaluate the processes, evaluate the challenges, evaluate the strengths, evaluate the weaknesses, and see what we can do better. And the NSS who are touching money, betting a year free more. Because we also have to take note that democracy itself is not a cheap process. The whole political process now is not a cheap process. If you look at the US, if you look at the UK, you look at some of these countries, the amount of resources that are spent. However, I think it's time for us to take stock, to look at what CDD is saying. We make it better for the enrichment of all. But I feel sometimes when people lose, they make these allegations, which sometimes are unfortunate, because I saw people who won on Saturday who didn't have money. And I asked one of the delegates, and he said to me that when this particular person came to us, we were very, very touched by his vision. I mean, somebody became true to, I think, third vice chairman. He wasn't somebody who had a lot of money. So sometimes, people may say things because they have lost. But I agree that we have to look at the processes. And like anything else, can we do it better? Yes, I agree with that.
My final question has to do with some new leaders to represent the party. What would be the 3 key things you'd want them to touch on immediately as new executives of the party?
I think the first thing they have to do is to pull together. I mean, that was the theme of the conference. We need to pull together. And I would urge them to maybe have a retreat, both old and new executives, to learn from their predecessors what went right, what went wrong. Because mostly, when we come into new positions, people come with their own ideas and they want to start from ground zero. I don't think it's necessary. I think the outgoing executives, Chairman Blay, former General Secretary John Boydu, They all have very, very good experiences. They've worked through the political system for the last 40 years or more, especially in our new Fourth Republic. These people have been there, so they've learned a lot, so they can learn from them. I think that's one. The second one is for them all to sit as a group to have a very clear vision, and set very clear objectives as to how they are going to take the party forward beyond 2024. How do we win the election? Invariably, when people come into office, there isn't that pulling together. And I think it's important that Chairman Stephen Tim and General Secretary and Justin Kodia outline a very, very clear vision. How is the party going to raise resources? How is the party going to manage the flag bearership race in front of us? And beyond elections now, I think parties can do more. I mean, one of the things I would like to see is a party like NPP. If you look at our human resource pool, how many doctors do we want to train in the next 10 years? How many engineers? Because winning the election is fine, but we also need a human resource. So I think that's the second one. And the third one is also to be very clear about how the party can help government. They said they're penning for coming. A party and a war bank. And see in a war bank, they are a amount for be brief. We said there are economic challenges. In Tisania, party needs to be to me a buy and a juma. Because baby and you have party people. A Caribbean and you have party people. How do we use these resources? I think say, you shouldn't hear into do election time. You need to be acquired to a Caribbean. But then after elections, it ends there. These resources now you baby, how do they plan to utilize it to the benefit of the government? So for me, these are the three objectives. Maka champion for them no more. I didn't come on say this is how I would like to see them start. So that we are all very, very clear about their purpose for the next 2 years and also to election 2024.
On the first point you made about unity and pulling everybody on board, we saw some 15 regional party, chairman of the party. One would declare almost support for John Boadu. Post the election, seeing Onipa no more so be winning, how easy would it be to bring about that unity, knowing even the former former chairman of the party had also shown his support for Mr. John Boadu?
Which former chair? Who can regional chairman?
Yes.
Well, I mean, for instance, yesterday I was at the function at East Legon, at the underbridge. Justin Kodia, General Secretary, was there, and he was warmly introduced by his regional chairman, Chairman Wuntumi. I mean, there was a lot of love, there was a lot of unity, there was a lot of bonding at this event. And, not only Justin was there, there were a lot of other winners and even people who ran and lost their elections. I mean, once the election is over, it's over. We move on. And I think that was what was exhibited yesterday at this event that Wuntumi put together for all the aspirants. In fact, it was intended to be for Ashanti Regional Caucus in Accra, but we realized that everybody was there and it was very, very nice. So I can say just General Secretary Justin also spoke that once we finish the election, we should move on. I mean, yes, Wuntumi did not support him, but he's his regional chairman and they have to work together. He's the general secretary. He needs the regional chairman to implement his vision and his objectives. So everybody has moved on. I think once the election results were announced, especially when people feel that they've been fairly treated, that's what I say. Problems come when people feel that they have not been fairly treated. But this is one election where all the aspirants, they were winning, they were winning, they were fairly treated. Their concerns were taken on board. I mean, look, the whole, when people raise issues about proxy votes, when they were taken out. I mean, they were taken out and say, okay, say they, and to hear about the any moment to be. Almost also TSC, what made it. And I think say after Saturday, once Sunday around 4:50, as a 4:30 a.m. electoral commission officers declared the results. Now people accepted and move on. And from then we all work as one elephant family, the NPP. And you need to wage and then the HM.
Yo, you better say Ambassador Boateng is on pay with Jimbo now needing come on our happy morning show. So
Miss Madam was a baby. Yo, and share it here for you now. Bye bye.
Yes, you are on pay Ambassador Boateng where a cigar, one more penny now, that one na yeneno AD and come on Odia Kotene about the NPP party emu sense or catch us a committee almost set up or organize a jumedi in who you know last Saturday no one work can be one more organize quickly me for information we bro man for na fe the enkwa homano so na yene Raymond and is finding kumanafe yembra back to the studio. But are you a pastor, prophet looking for a radio station to preach and reach a wider audience and win souls for Christ? Then look no further than Happy 98.9 FM from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. each day. That slot is available and our prices are very moderate as well. And so we'll pack when you're not working radio so a free eduada copy if you're there. Akwenya no honma a free and you 10 p.m. a copy and 5 a.m. there. Ubitimenya Akwenya no Akwenya coupon as a waiting for 0244 509 798 0244 509 798 now on name penny for Eddie and Komo. Every year teaches us two things. No situation is permanent and life has to move on. It's a new year and we couldn't have made it without you. Hantech Markets, an award-winning financial technology firm with over 32 years industry experience, is here again. The Hantech House, Osu Ringway Estate, Noi Osikan Close off Angola Avenue, giving the opportunity to learn how to trade the financial markets, get mentored professionally, get access to our unique social trading platform with traders globally. Ubetia from what was 0544 708888 now more at the Nkomo. But Costa Rica, Makwa baby na edaso e hanum se ya menia yenyina no ye boaboa ho se ye beko eye Costa Rica. The government of Ghana through the Ministry of Youth and Sports has given the green light to Citygate Travel and Tours to organize Ghanaians to support Black Princesses of Ghana in this year's FIFA Under-20 Women's World Cup in August of 2022. Contact City Travel and Tour for more details on 020-9011-115 and at 050-0777-373. Now only more ND and come they are the partner you can trust. Quickly, Yemfa Royal Aroma fortified rice and ensemble for so rice water no pay na America kumu na odi esichi kakra sumo no wadi no se no wadi di ansa no afifie no eno ane Royal Aroma fortified rice jollofa Royal Aroma omutua Royal Aroma fried rice Royal Aroma aduane bia Royal Aroma bacho zinc elmu vitamins elmu iron elmu B3 B6 B9 and B12 ni nyina eboa ama onipa utimi enya hodina utimi enyini eye nti bomodi ase obedi mu ewo fie a Royal Aroma and I'll be used so a restaurant operator and now say hotelier me patromina no more than said Royal Aroma and I'm be used quickly for some 5 minutes no yenko yen Zoom link and if it's still available now yen wrap up yen conversations never back to the studio with my guests in the studio Roma me no dey come back ma me emfa Sefa Dankwa na me ni come Sefa good morning.
Good morning Sammy.
Hello, Sefa.
Sorry.
Now, a move design pay.
Yeah, go pardon maybe I will call.
Now your voice in the edge, man.
My voice. Me buy me kaka drone pepper any day get on even that's my voice near you kaka.
Okay, all right, there, that's it. Sefa, a menu sir, but generally your observation throughout the coverage at the Accra Sports Stadium.
That's a require more for some teach my and echo ye but I mean because we've talked about the entire process, quite fast to voting, and I'll just quickly touch on Adebayo Kwame who I believe said the party could have done it well. That was the voting process. I felt during the voting process, it was a bit chaotic because people had to go join queues for a longer time and some of them, I mean, former members of parliament, I remember I saw one former member of parliament for Sanguli Tatale, and Walker said, we generally no more want to mean beauty. Wajia Kunya Atana Sebreno, as soon as doing so now or no answer no aqua trouble. And I think that could have been managed better. But all in all, it was free, fair, violence, free elections. I believe there was it me but partner. But the only incident say I'm the branch back on na apposi for so on a palm did say by this time the issue probably has been resolved. But now Ugusa Raymond, what the candidate the delegates were looking at the people that they voted for last Saturday. One thing that stood out was somebody who can unify the party will be able to be a backup party no abomu because now a man for the fee set party no as the brand now leaders are no more no and near maybe see ya woman and to me answer and ye ama I say maintain me who has a name papa and movie about party no say woman you be beating your party na bomu and here now the unique here about or the ambition to break the 8 come 2024. They wanted to unify. They wanted somebody obey me a fini na onye na adwene say or ko we afa and I say or ko we afa. These were the things that they were looking for, particularly with General Secretary. No, now man for accessibility is key, and you being the face of the party, you being the chief executive officer of the party. No, they should have the opportunity to engage you whenever and wherever. But unfortunately, the claims were that the immediate past general secretary of the party, John Bodino, we had a gentleman, I know, or contest conform in one of the Bono regions. Now, they have consistently been trying to engage John Bodu, the immediate past general secretary of the MPP, as a from of friend in Ano, Monsan Cano. It drew bring no bomb free, baby, free crab bank and crodium, no barber, no more party of his cry, any idea, woman in ano. They were also saying, say, it looks as if JB had lost touch with realities on the ground. That as a one more part Nasia, no, one more your foot soldiers, a one more Twabano, any idea as any air comb, Hosa, na bring ano, and you know, a woman was strong and when some of the issues are. Delegates need to be able to say almost saturated. We'll have that capacity, we'll have that skill set to drive the party to win the 2024 general elections. Sorry.
Yosefa, but also no pay for updates of the Abreme. Unfortunately, my guests are in studio, and so I know we're going to have a comprehensive conversation tomorrow. So we coming na say one kasansu watching our coming. But I think I should thank you officially on air for being here in my absence. I know waking up at dawn and staying through until Epahwada being quite a challenging role. And Sana Tuesdays, what bo fact sheet is home. Kudos and good job done, Sifa Dankwa. I thank you as well for waking up at dawn. So sorry, and I'm a Juma Homachi. Do Ufi. But my member studio na my name is guest in Ninkomo. If you want Mamunyambe, a party chairman, party first secretary, who from Kwampa, woman fat, Omakazo Mefro Kwan, so more return the corner. No, Mubinya party chairman, then is any and the Zana pay. Okay, I thought that I had done that, but quickly, Mame and Raymond, and wrap you up. Ray. Hello, Ray. Yo. Let's say. I see. Bibia dating. And I was saying, yeah. A baby, I'm big Johnny. You see, I say, me break a cravat. It's me a buffulia. Ah, Mobetinenka. This is an power, you say now. Obisu, what the event say, sir, Rob Red Rambino, she pano, what the four body are, and you never buy. Now, adi foul the foul body are snatching, 3 minutes beyond walk him boys about coffee. But you know, and I was about to know she been in your few. I mean, viewers and listeners in especially our viewers in Kumasi, our viewers in Tamale and Bogatanga for always joining us on the show. Andy, my main on Fanchase, I know sir, only one issue is on our table, and that has to do with the MPP. One more national executives, our you or more. The process, how it went, the outcome, the shocks, the new faces are more ABBA, and the expectations of the party folks to break the 8, looking at the circumstances as Oman Iwomu, the economic hardships are Iwomu, whether these individuals are able to break the 8 for the NPP. And no AM Kuma and pay ED. We'll be glad to hear from you as well. WhatsApp, your hashtag happy HMS, and no any hashtag or the comments no we'll be glad to read them and put it live on air. But my main no shall say Andy, how it all went. The CBP was there, the NDC was there, other political parties were there to show solidarity and all. Mame enfan shall Andy.
That's a match here at for ne Ludona Mohaya. As a imprepi a better Penifona can Yansan Nibaku 40. Semina Ludona Ebekana and they all mode. Yes, Rome say a former Mufanche. It's a learning process, we are all learning and also contributing our poorer. Giving the platform this priceless opportunity to also help deepen the current dispensation and also for the progress of Mother Ghana. The owners say we can all you So before I move to the main issue, let me say in Prepi. And that is something that I think that I will champion anytime I appear on your show. Me say me told you when some celebrities were hauled before the law for distributing some indecent pictures, you will see people that you expect say they should know better, also joining and defending and in the process castigating the police, cyber crime office and the judiciary for taking that action. I think that if you go and read the Cyber Security Act 2020 Act, that precisely 1038, they should get it straight. I think it's all my opportunity one day 9 years we say, but the laws are there. So you cannot just do that. Those indecent pictures only will be with consent now blackmailing one. Who wants to change and no, you better become one. About the elections, I'm humbled given the submission of Ambassador Edward Boateng this morning. And his concluding remarks also Busan is lessons be the way forward, Ghana, the bigger picture. Also, can be said it shouldn't be elections alone for political parties should be trooping the nook and cranny of this country and trying to convince and garner votes for the elections. Sammy, I have always said this, and I've never hidden my disappointment at the political leadership of this country, where they think that they can take the Ghanaian electorates for granted. You see people trooping in villages, and when it is time for them to solicit their votes, I mean, resources of states are not managed properly to the advantage of the citizenry. Where we get the chunk of, in terms of resource or revenue, if it is minerals resources from, go to those villages or towns and cities and you see how poverty has been so endemic and the hardship there. Just last week, I think Obuasi Township, some of the people came out publicly to say, listen, we are not being treated fairly in terms of the national cake. This is not limited to the present administration. I think it is something that they think that, listen, if you are getting the resources here, then it is proper that you better our conditions of living. So politicians must begin to work in the larger interest of the electorates. When they feel marginalized, well, see, and that played out in the MPP elections. Yes, the organization was perfect. I'm happy that, like, yeah, witnessing those congresses and our delegate conference, those violence and so forth. And I think Sefa even made reference to that. The only incident was when the police had to apprehend a gentleman for some misconduct or whatever. By all in all, yes, it is good. They've organized a successful Congress. Chairman in team, or Mr. Stephen Ayesin team, emerged the winner. And Sami, one thing that I picked up from that, his resounding victory. He won by over 4,000 votes out of a little over 6,000 delegates. 4,014, if I'm not mistaken. And this is his fifth attempt, right? This is his fifth attempt. If my memory serves me right, I think he contested with the late Jake Obichevi, Otanka Obichevi Lamte. He lost, and still, now, I picked up, say, when he made up his mind to contest again, somebody that he bounced the idea with in jest said, oh, again, and he told the person that, listen, this time round, I will win, and I will save the MPP as the national chairman. I think that he's marketed himself, his message went down, and Muvutimano. As to his closest contender, Mr. Stephen Samoa Boateng, yes, many were of the view, given his razzmatazz, you know, he's a sweet talker. And if na make up if opportunity kakra say all the aspirants to come and talk to the delegates, he would have swayed some of the voters. But I'm so man yenesa, and so yes, he lost. I think that while losing election doesn't mean say wabrabo abawiye, and I say you cannot save your party again. Like Ambassador Kai, it is time for them to come together, put their shoulders to the wheel, and look at the bigger picture, that is 2024. If indeed they want to break the 8, which, Sami, I don't need a soothsayer to know, say, breaking the 8 will be a very difficult task. even though my own party, I have issues with that party. And from these elections, what the NDC, those are the headquarters, should be picking up is that the lessons is simple. Tornado awaits them. Those who think that they are God unto themselves and that, they cannot lose elections, they have entrenched their position, they are joking. Because in the case of Mr. John Boadu, who was the incumbent general secretary of the party, John Boadu started to lose MPP position. Now Okofrodia. Yes, we started losing Okofrodia. That was 2018. When Richard Ahiagba, who came from nowhere, had about 600 votes, and that was a protest vote. 1 year campaign. I think that he joined lately but was able to pull something. That was a protest vote against him. And prior to the elections, Utia, though people were of the view, say the institution must remain, and I mean institutional memory, the old system, we need people with institutional memory, they must be there. And Nankrofono, the old guards were for him. We'll not miss words here. The old guards were for him. But the youth are saying that, no, listen, we need somebody who will do what? Listen to the party, carry the party along. So, John Boadu started losing his position was 2018. And then Abba into 2022. Justin Kodia, nobody gave him that chance. But I think that, yes, some of the issues, the party grassroots, and the party grassroots, they are the owners of the party. Sami, they should get it loud and clear. This political leadership, and I mean, Umutu Abama, now be a general secretary, be a chairman, and you think that, that is all. Those are the grassroots, no, omo here. Listen, they'll punish you. To hell with your money in Asefo. I've heard the issues of vote buying and whatever, which that will be my concluding state remarks in this segment. The grassroots are the owners of the party. They are too about now. You are coming to serve them. You are not coming to serve yourself. You are coming to serve the party and serve the party grassroots. Yet when party grassroots, omo frewa, they won't get you. Then you are not prepared to serve. It is better you get out for somebody who is prepared to serve, to come and serve them. And that was the demonstration of that fact. And they said, Omututiano. And in fact, when he was coming in, there's Accra Sports Stadium for the event ground. You saw what happened. The delegates, that was the beginning of his defeat. Utina team, Omoye with Signano, yes, he's summoning Asefo. And you should know, sir, you've not served the party well. Listen, many a times when people obi kasa, obi amo omonfa or party no omo say way. Mami bi aya or MPP headquarters. Haji Afati. Unim say emrebi oba out. Ebe kan say John Boadu on my party office. I call high office be or baby. I am not against John Boadu having his private office. I have known him for years, and I know he's a sharp guy, and he does maybe be consultancy, be given his background. But you see, the point is that once you put yourself up for elections, to serve the people, serve them. Say no, that should have been the beginning. He said, you are John Boadu, you start to amend your ways and get closer to the party. Sefa Ekasa, also, Niemana Ekosu say, oh, he was not in touch with reality. And here, MPP, as we speak, and the ruling party, among New Sao, listen, Niemana Nkoyi or party, you understand? We know what is happening. The marginalization, the jarring as if for people think that, some leaders are not working in their interest. See, when you are voted into such high office to serve the people many a times perhaps they have some idea that they want to bounce off you and see how they can all work in that spirit of we say unity in ourselves to move the party forward. But maybe I'll be or friendly party general secretary who is the administrator of the party at every point in time. As for the chairman, how political party who chairman I call it is a wow. That is why the chairman says statement be cry about chairman sign it. It is the secretary. You are the chief scribe. You are the administrator of the party. So if general secretary or secretary be a region constituency be Efrel, now I'm far. Masa, yes, it be a meeting, but there should be a mechanism be so if not that day you reach out and with the issues I'm raising is persistently you call him, you won't pick. And I think that from Sunday morning now announce the outcome of the elections now who said want me and win, and I think he managed only he tried to manage about 2,500 and something. He will begin to take the notes, say, no, Hannah may a mistake. I should have listened to people. Sometimes say Mpeninfono and Dozo Sabojo Swa. That is not the thinking or the direction of the party grassroots. They own the party. They own the party. They know what is happening. So a political party that does not empower the grassroots, you are heading for doom. You will not succeed. The party grassroots do move on top. You will empower the grassroots. You won't give them what they need to work with. If it is an outreach, what are you providing for them to go on outreach, to canvass for vote, to galvanize vote for your party? You sit at the top and you think that, oh, let's push it. Listen, this should be a big lesson to all political leaders.
All right.
Not only MPP, but NDC. Sami, since this is the first round, let me.
Yes, Mama, briefly. Menje the comment on the CMM. Yeah.
Before that, Andy, earlier initial comment in respect of cyber security issues. I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, there was a court saying judgment sentencing to 14 years just because would you be nude picture a blackmail, and I think it is something that we should all encourage. With the new National Cyber Security Act, sebi metimi no wa them abo naked nyampe bia metimi aye upa ye ne obebia but without my approval so the two abonten you'll be dealt with straight away. And sebi and let no one take offense, but the so-called celebrities or Krum has here any sebi and say who video or radios in social media. Sometimes you listen to social media, you listen to their comment, and you ask us, of course, a lot of them are professional beggars. Because really, they don't do any other thing apart from coming to sit on social media and insult people. We've been talking about and then you wonder, aren't there anything to regulate such act of quote stupidity? There are things sometimes, and so when you see to say abayoya or born naked or and burning, and then you have people courageous enough to come and defend her. They ask, however.
But yeah, say and some meboa. Say nipa ne betina social media, radio, so TV so. No, I'm not even talking about social media. TV so.
Exactly.
No would theatem. Now yaw, me no tie opa MBA Facebook ni en check it. Ebi e benya 50 bi o mo share o Facebook.
Yeah.
Ebi assist bi.
Sebi. Quote unquote. Yeah, in Kenya answer sem.
Yes.
And the answer sem no in this contest na ye say ye mie ya no ndi obi atem.
Ko he omo mu di atem no. 1K, 5K, 3K. So the people love it.
Exactly. And you see, I think there must be a whole conversation about this, because you see, Uko serious country via, for instance, they don't give one person, whoever you are, you will not get alliances for 2, 3, 4 TV stations already. Nobody, no serious country will do that. It was only in Italy that Berlusconi attempted to do that, but they didn't give him one. So what he did was to buy across.
Yeah.
And so say bia or yeah they or Milana, then it is linked to say bia ETV yeah they will say. So maybe you have an affiliate in Accra. Exactly. Then they link. But it is not owned by Edward Wharton or Global Media Alliance. Yeah. But you have a situation where you have one person, not or 3, 4 radio stations, or one, and but opa ma ban bi nya kukudru, my NDC and as MPP nya kukudru ka say this thing is not, we will not entertain this. We will turn against them and insult them. Anyway, back to the main issue. Of course, Same, from 2002, ABC Sabri, NDC, the MPP, or conferences in Nano, Congress in Nano, Mikobi, Ekoshene, Ekoso. And Osha says so far there's been a remarkable improvement in the way a man, your friends, say parties in a year or more conferences, no more Congress. We say, for instance, with respect to the presidential primaries, for instance, you see parties, allow it to happen at the regional level, no more the results now, and it's a marked improvement compared to the previous ones. A year or one central location, and I remember 2006 NDC presidential primaries. Now, I'll say it is Spielgabriel's time, but today be at Tamil's day. And I don't know. The yakura kwara na spill yato abana you. Na abanu no akwatra spill nche. And spill no for video na kwa edi akode. I say akwa hu ye bufu. This is Spielgabriel's time, but today be at Tamil's day. Because I don't feel okay. So 2006 now, Professor Mills, Professor Mills, Spielgabriel, Ibrahim Mahama, Idris Mahama, and Diana. It was a lovely. But I think all these things are good. Saturday MPP conference. First, let me look at the organization. I think it went well. And all the compare NDC 2018. It took about 3 days for voting to end. And Sarah Moshe say, yes, I say Friday. The whole of Saturday up to Saturday night, and then Sunday, and I bet to us, so I think around 3-4 p.m. and Sunday movie BBR. And I'm sure going forward, and all the parties are learning. So I'm expecting that the NDC also learn, and then we'll have a bit of stress-free conference. The conference went on well in terms of organization, in terms of attendance, security, everything. From what I saw, I think it's a cool. But idea back one a year minus was party nika say a besha say 10 o'clock. As at 10 o'clock, na party delegates no more ban, no more buy. A chair up to around 3 p.m. and some delegates nearby Bidruho. And it's something that probably Edward Wharton and his committee, Mark Manu and his committee, going forward, they should begin to look at it. Say, you can say, a besha say 10 o'clock. Whatever needs to be done, it should be done before 10 so that your basha say. And the party also said, say, they don't want a situation a conference, that's a Congress ground, say, be an aspirant to be unam now chisika. So, and the party they were honest with the situation, said, election. Certainly somebody will attempt to give something. And who will be now the betcha will be not maybe a year to a banner, whatever you want to give to the person. Much as we should not encourage these things, we also cannot take it out of it entirely. So those things, I'm sure there were the reasons. A friend said the arrival of the delegates to the stadium, a chair, and it's something that is not good because the vice president, the president, and all of them were sitting and waiting. Then they are appropriate. So Edward Wharton and Mark Manu and the rest should look at how things should be done going forward. The contest itself, Ura Stephen Tim, Ura John Boadu, Ura Nana B. For some of them, Kate, women organizer, your name say it was obvious. And your friend say, has a folk boy, you know. Exactly. Nasra code. Exactly. It was also going to be obvious. Youth organizer, name Muya Shikakra. But honestly, let me also confirm, for the first time in the your party, you know, your party politics, NDC and MPP. The first time, one for MPP youth organizers, it was the first time I mean him one-on-one, say, ND is contesting and I don't know him. It was the first time, so I was like, so who really are the guys in this contest? Of course, the name being mentioned was Mustafa. Mustafa said, okay. And of course, I remember we also have had Mustafa Hamid as a national youth organizer. So if Mustafa is replacing Mustafa, or coming, another Mustafa is coming, it's all well and good. Rust even team, shall say 2005, he lost to McMahon in 2005. And 2005, whether you like it or not, he was a candidate of the establishment. And McMahon was a candidate of the party, as we put it at that time. The team lost. And indeed, also 2005, he was a favorite. 2005, he was a favorite. The only election in team was not a favorite was 2010, when Jake was contesting, because at that time, Obian and Jake, huge character, very strong personality within the party. And so when he made up his mind to contest, right from the word go, no Obian said Jake was going to win. And it didn't come as a surprise. Say, win here. And then 2014 in Tamale. He was in team again. And then Afoko started and Fred Owari. Again also, at that time, Akufo-Addo was not the candidate at that time. He was not the presidential candidate at that time. But he still was the main man as far as the party was concerned, because of the friends say 2008 and then 2012 defeat, and he has become the face of the party. Maybe an Anabaka say Enkono. Yeah, and Pempi, you know, exactly. And their candidate at that time was Fred Owari. And it was that indecision between Fred Owari and then in team and their backers led to Afoko winning the, your friends say, because so the Fred Owari in team vote to Buma, it was about 3,000. And then Afoko had 2,200 or so, and he won. And then Koforidua, we all thought that after Koforidua, there was really in team's time. And the reason many people thought that it was in team's time was the fact that many people had a feeling that President Akufo-Addo didn't believe in the team project from day one. And so he had never supported or endorsed in team from 2005 for ABC Sabri, 2018 in Koforidua. In 2018 also, essentially Nanado Ma in team appointment as a board chairman for Lands Commission in team. Everybody to say, oh, then say BBR. Because more or less his hindrance to the chairmanship was Akufo-Addo. And once Nana has given him the appointment as a board chairman, it means that they've been able to patch up their differences and then they've made progress, and so he was going to win. And then Alhaji Short from nowhere came on board. I said, but how can you have a party chairman called Short? Alhaji Short by Short in the more system. No, Short is not flying. The system didn't want in team at that time. The system had to fall on Freddie Blay, and Freddie Blay at that time was say, oh, crown ye MPP ni, we CPP ni na yaya wa dombi. But yeah, now you're ready free say, your friend say all along he's done the bidding of MPP from Parliament from 1997 up to the time of free Parliament, and so you cannot say so on yes, so a CPP ni by birth, but in practice they're not MPP. And then Fred Blay won. Then 2022. Is it going to be in team's time? And he's done this for 20 years. And so 2022, the slogan was Tamaso. And that's how we say, Tamaso say, Obeko retirement, and I say Tamaso say, Obey day. But I mean, he went round they believed in him. And Oshe within the country, Gabriel Chidako from 2010, no, 2014, 2018, Gabi has been in team. So he posted something mischievously on his social media platform, and I say, it looks like time also. I said, Gabi, what do you mean? If you want to say the thing well, say it well. Then we all know say where you are. Even though in private you support in team and you want him to become the party chairman. But I listened to in team. I listened to Professor Amir Konfi. I listened to Asamoah Boateng. Of course, and let me disclose my interest here. My preference was Asamoah Boateng. Apart from so I am Madame for no. I listened to. I think he had a message because he came out with 7-point agenda. And I mean, in my view, no, say Unyakwa be party chairman no implement here, and can bet me a party no. But like Andy has been saying since Oshe na year sign up it is not what you prefer. It is what the owners of the party. And who are the owners of the party? Ukobrekum constituency. There's a there's a constituency chairman. There's your friend is saying there's a constituency secretary. They are the part of constituency. And they have also listened to Microphone or more your friends and they have come to conclusions. I think at this time of in the life of the party, the party according to Ura Stephen Tima, a bit me aboa and can't quite more.
Yeah, let me hold you on for a second. Na mendana me ho embra me ba na mo atos na afi no. Yedi enkomo no. Hello, yana ne ho na yembra ye ba na afi no. Yento aso. Morning, you live on ETV, live on Happy 98.9 FM, Nisim 95.9, and at 100.1. I pay many Andy can come and you'll be menu and a wo studio and say you didn't come out now. Floor and Sana make up for breaking up.
Yeah, auntie, Same Ura Stephen team appraise I could be away for the past 20 years. And I Yanko Ponkacher and say, Unya Botre, I dear Betchaman 64 years, and or dear Kunyana Bemano, and Yanko a dear Kunyana Mano. The botae, the entire prayer Kunyana for 20 years in Yamiada Roma, a Kunyana Babe Canensa. The Mecatcher and say, one, a yaw beer winimua, onion free ho. Now, open up to everybody. He's now become the father of the party. And you know, I'm day. And I'm on to be to a Bema party in Ejinano. And I like one thing that Alan Chamante said, the new executive should work for greater unity of the party. Was a party in Betty Medi in Kunim 2024, Ejina Korea, so how involved everybody will be. And Osha contest, we are saying that red with what in a canon. A contest or more way for the first time, aspirant to be anywhere complaining about the outcome. So that itself is an indication of the fact that Bibia Ekoso, our Sundiemo, Seneno Obiepe, into run team Urajas and Kodua should take advantage to unite the party, bring everybody on board. A election, everybody had an interest. And it is so that everybody must have an interest. But Yatwa Banawi, whoever emerges or the winners, out of all the interests, and I can say, look, Ura Kodua, you did this, I want to bet my party in the general secretary. Into the Kodua air mount. Ura 17, ubetimi aye, ura mama Kate Jamfa ubetimi aye, na bi ubetimi aye. Mwa kanyina ubetimi aye adwuma nti ye the 2024 agenda no shamonsa, and it is on their shoulders. Say the parties wish to break the 8, they will see to it that that becomes a reality. Ura Kodua, obviously he's young, energetic, strong, and very smart guy. Very, very smart and intelligent guy. And so, you go on social media and somebody says they will try to compare what happened in 2008 to what has happened now. Say, in 2008, MPP had a new presidential candidate. They had a new national chairman, new general secretary, new this, new that, and all those things. but in the end the party lost. And so it was a reason somewhere of the view say John Boadu should be re-elected. And of course, I mean, my views is clear that I had preferred John to be the general secretary, but unfortunately, party delegates, yes, I know. But the question I also ask those who are saying that John Boadu should have been the general secretary with experience and everything is that who is the longest general secretary in this country? General Mosquito, right? He's 20 years on the throne. Under him, NDC has won 2 elections. Alomi Male. Under him, NDC has lost 2 elections. So really, where lies the issue? Say experience really is the main reason for a party winning the election. Then this MPP won 2000 election with Dambotre as their general secretary. At that time, Ajeni Boateng, long veteran. Everybody thought that Ajeni Boateng should be the general secretary to prosecute the 2000 agenda. But when they went to Sunyane, the party came to the conclusion that, look, Dambotre, the agenda, and any vision, and then you just said the man which might drive a party. And indeed, the party won 2000 election. Of course, if you look at the enthusiasm, the support, and the kind of your friends say, now it gives one indication that the party people who wanted him are ready to also work for him. Because at the end of the day, those at the grassroots level, no, they must also see somebody as say, Papa, we there, yeah, Jumamana, and Fasobi was so. And I say, yeah, mano and so we will work for him. And you look at the performance between Intim and Asamoah Boateng. Intim got over 4,000 something. Asabi got 1,000, 10. And my friend Professor Miakunfi, Obi say 101 Akunfi Street, 101 Akunfi Street. So yeah, 101. But I mean, you also see that Intim also had overwhelming support. So it tells you that at the grassroots level, these are the party is really behind them. And so if they make so much to 2 months, or man of credit, or mama election and selection of parliamentary candidate, or man of credit, or man fair. Me this a breaking the 8, irrespective of who becomes the party's presidential candidate. Because at the end of the day, it is what happens at the grassroots that comes up to support who is the presidential candidate. You look at the performance of the parties in presidential and parliamentary elections. I mean, in 2008, when MPP lost parliament, the rest were just noise. First round, we lose parliament. So what? You look at 2000 election, NDC lost parliament in the first round, and the rest were just noise. But your own party supporters say, but we have come to a certain conclusion, say, man lose parliament. Your party now lose parliament. And you know, president, that is an assumption people have. And so anytime they are party be call election second round I actually look at the performance. Performance is always bad.
But the next 12 minutes I want to you're looking at a very important issue that has emanated not only from this contest, but from that of the NDC as well. And that has to do with money in politics. Allegations were made. Social media pictures were all over with monies that were supposedly being shared. Asamoah Boateng had made allegations about monies being shared. On his phone, he was showing evidence of what had been sent him. Monetization of young democracy. Let's forget about MPP, let's forget about NDC. But the path we are on as a nation, say, Sisiano, to hold a position in this country, only 10 million, forget it.
Sabe, there can only be an end to this when the parties are honest to themselves. And what do I mean by that? NDC as a political party can say that they have roughly 1 million supporters. That if you give them a party card, or these who are ready to go for a party card, MPP can also say same that they have 1 million or 500,000 supporters.
Okay.
The question is, what are they doing? what are they doing to make sure say this number of supporters become money for the party? Some MPP say 500,000 members, card-bearing members. NDC say 500,000 card-bearing members. If the party have done their structures well, na say nka bosome bia no obi oye MPP and say NDC ni even 10 Ghana cedi or 5 Ghana cedi bosome bia. And the reason for paying that it becomes a card for you to vote for whoever you think deserves to lead the party. You have a say in it. But the situation where we have limited numbers, money will continue to play a role. Are we helping? Yatuaba John Mahama as an NDC presidential candidate. Yatuaba Ama Baumia or Alan as MPP's presidential candidate.
Hey, Kennedy Japan.
Ken. Baumia Alan Kennedy Japan, but whoever. Yatuaba Masanko Fuise Bakume MPP's presidential candidate. John Mahama or Dr. Dofo as NDC's presidential candidate. Party to about money panel, they go to sleep. How you raise resources to prosecute your campaign and your party nothing. So they expect you, the presidential candidate of the party, to go and look for money. You, the parliamentary candidate of the party, to go and look for money. But NDC with their membership of 500,000, so omu a generate, and I say every month to be honest, omu only 5 Ghana cedi per head. Times 500. You are talking about almost about 5 million Ghana cedis. Until you say NDC as a party, if they are making 5 million Ghana cedis every month, you are talking about your friends say 60 million Ghana cedis every year. By the time I ever call into election, of course, you have some people who also come and support the party because the party has also made some people important, or the party has created businessmen and women. And so those guys will also come out and say, look, we believe in the agenda of the NDC, we believe in the agenda of the MPP, and to support NDC or MPP to be empowered to create more businessmen or to create more businesswomen. So until say
but how about if the state stepped in?
Oh, come on. And look, we just deceive ourselves because
no, you see, didn't you make us say, for instance, Andy, what the Cyber Security Act here about no pay? Say, as well, mine, Embra El Parliament, say, we are going to run a state-funded campaign for your national elections. It is illegal to be caught giving anybody TNT. It is illegal to be caught giving somebody money. And that, let's say, the Electoral Commission is the mandated body that is going to fund these campaigns, and that an allocation of 1 million or 2 million Ghana cedis has been given to any political party. Yeah, you think we can't?
There are questions.
Yeah, obviously there will be questions.
There are questions, and some of the questions are one. Electoral Commission, assuming they want to do that. The political parties at the end of every year, are they not supposed to file their taxes? Are they not supposed to file their account?
Yes, true.
The Electoral Commission, they are supposed to give it to the Electoral Commission. How many of them are committed to that? There's that total disregard for it. And all the parties are guilty. Some, we should be honest as well. Ghana for any yamamre ne sa nneema no. So some wontimi nwura obi fie, ana wontimi nwura ohene bi fie. Abra won fashion up enko. Wontimi nko asori bi abra onna ase. Obekọ wedding, obekọ funerals, obekọ adoring, obeye nneema bebree. So the only way to deal with it is a party nankasa e de san hyehyɛ no ba. Say your friend say MPP yi presidential candidate ni yi ne na no ebia your friend say election no a year away. Every quarter bia no there's a certain amount allocated to the presidential candidate. Some it will reduce this kind of, and again obi enu ha wa contest election krom ha at the level of party leadership or at the level of presidential candidacy or at the level of constituency on chair obisika and I say on ma obi TNT.
Okay.
So my candidate Asabi, honestly I'm disappointed. Say okay, say ebimu echiska. He shouldn't have said that because as a candidate you went around the constituencies. Obama TNT as a candidate, party for Abba and crying. Obekwa share omo, obeche omo, umfa wa no keke nkonko share omo. So, and that's why I totally disagree with him. He shouldn't have made that comment at all.
All right.
And assuming say omine ya and kobe make a comment no making ana. So those things should not be.
Mami, emfa final bite in Andy. Andy, your 3 minutes.
Yeah. So I'll be snappy. I know. Near many of our kind about one candidate, Eura Sabi, has also given me the assurance that with a crop of and Crawford Matthew or more, their principle and their love for Mother Ghana, and then at least 2 has also joined that list. Ambassador Edward Boateng, where he said that it shouldn't be only elections for them, the political leaders, to get to the electorates or to the citizenry to know their pain. You see, Yawa can be, and I think that there is hope that when the crop of Yabano, when we drum home the message, we carry out with this crusade, that over monetization of young politics, there will be an end to it. Saying, Asabi comment, and I was coming to that. Say, Obichi Chesika, he has evidence on phone. In this day and age, social media, where people use some these graphics and blah blah for anything. But he also admitted, say he also gave out transportation. But the party budgeted and what transported the people here. So who told you that they needed transportation? What was the intent for giving that money? What was the intent? That's hypocrisy. So that one, forget about it. They have made it very expensive. And in fact, Mr. Ambassador Okasoka say democracy has become very expensive. Omo is very expensive. It's because, you see, they don't believe in the structure, the infrastructure, the party infrastructure. Omo they are too change. So you see, that is why sometimes you see very people who feel say, listen, they should vote according to their conscience in ourselves. They will be swayed by fake wax print at party congress. They will be swayed by, some we say, I will call me Papa here and those things, and they'll go and vote for candidates that. And why? Almost say the Congress was supposed to start at 10, and now there were reports said there was a holdup because delegates in this blah blah blah. They have made it so. You know why? Given their engagement with the party grassroots delegates, say omutu abamama omo frema mumfa until another 4 years, you will not even pick their calls. So if I come on a Congress ground, I'm coming for my ex-gratia. So you must pay me. No, which myself and you are not happy. That is why, Sami, I've said it, that I will never put up myself for any party position and say, Mekwako Cheska and Mekotia flat screen. No, I won't do it. I won't do it. Do I need necessarily have to become a party executive to be able to serve Mother Ghana? No. So they have made it very expensive, and they should be looking at that. Yeah? I was talking about the Electoral Commission clothed with the powers to audit, get this audited account from political parties. And all can be said, will the parties be willing to submit their audited account? It is not the issue of you willing. It's a matter of law. If we allow this thing to hold, it's just like Obika said, laws are made for fun. Are laws made for fun? No. They are not made for fun. So they must apply the law. And in fact, given the provisions of Article 87 of the 1992 Republican Constitution, clothes the Auditor Generals with the power to what? Audit all public institutions and public offices. And is the political parties not part of it? So they must move to that area if we want to check this over monetization of your politics. And Sami, I think that the political parties must begin to see that institution, their entity, as a business entity. They must run the party as a business. There is nothing wrong for a political party owning businesses. You can put up a hotel and run it. You can put up a business and run it. And so if we are putting up a hotel and Ambassador Kai, you are put up a hospital. And so if you party, you train doctors, they will go and work there. Yeah. Those who in the hospitality management will go to the hotel. So what are you talking about? They must run the party as a business. That is the only way we can stop this over monetization of party, the democratic process or Congress ground. Apart from that, Sami, I'm sorry. I mean, but they should take their charge and we will follow. One, the Auditor General must get up to work. The EC must also apply their law as clothes, and the political parties must see themselves as a business entity.
All right.
So that, Sami, Omoba, let me create a businessman. Say, into Omoba, Omo contract. Say, party ni free abemwa. Then they must switch hand this pool. They will not get contract. They must begin. That was the vision of President Mills when he acquired some vast land war. Central University, who said, no, there should be a party school. There must be some business attached. So that, you see, the issue, it is so nauseating. Say, party beba abemuna wati, we say, Omoako Sizi, public, we say, bi oha, abukoye oha, and Omunina ministries, Nina say for the you see, it's very bad.
All right. Andy, with the Oribecha me say me chow, so I know say I feel now shifty gears in it. I feel now shifty free ted coffee. You know. But yeah, me do as an pay say tunsa from number coming sir. Andy, me do as an pay say tunsa from number coming sir. Aha, and everybody my kwai ama yedi jimedi no. I see production team most so you move my digimedi no eberman for ebedemo ase. Sefa remote nyamado most medemo ase for yeoman's job done. During the period of my absence, I mean, in Sherman.